Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from livemyassoff.com. Glad you guys are here. I'm here at the Rian Choen coffee shop. Now, I'm going to show a picture of the place because I know I'm pronouncing it wrong. And hey, Jason, good to see you, man. And also, Joseph, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming by. Indeed, you guys are definitely waiting. And I know that a lot of you guys are coming over from Jeremy's channel, and that was just spectacular, man. It was really neat to watch that, and watch a buddy that I actually, I care quite a bit about and have a lot of respect for. Just get that excited and stuff. And so that was kind of neat. Thank you for your virtual hug. I appreciate it. Joseph, always good to see you here. And unique vibes. Is that what it's supposed to be? I like that. That's a good one. Hey, dude, good to see you as well. And yeah, Asia Unscripted. I know you're back in Seattle. So it's interesting to I'll have to catch up on some of your videos and see what the difference is back there. And hey, what's going on, Dave? Good to see you, buddy. Hello, Patrick. Hey, man. Why don't I live in the U.S.? So the short answer is I just really like it here better. I moved here in November after coming back and forth to here for about 7 years. I met Gracie about 4 years ago. She's from the Philippines. And for about the last 4 years, she and I have been traveling in the U.S., but also within Southeast Asia. And so, of course, that was the plan, right? COVID sort of changed that. But the point is that it was our goal to move over here and live over here. And by that, I mean, like ASEAN, right? So the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. And so obviously that includes, Thailand, but certainly Vietnam, Cambodia, Singapore, Malaysia potentially, but we definitely want to check out Indonesia. And so I just really like this part of the world. I believe that this part of the world, specifically in Southeast Asia, is where the growth is going to be over the next 10 years. So I'm kind of an entrepreneurial dude. And so because of that, I like to go where there's a lot of what I certainly view as positive change. And so I see a whole lot of that happening over here. And anyway, it just works for me. So anyway, let me make sure that I'm not doing something incorrectly, technology-wise. I was actually monitoring my own stream, and so I don't need to do that because that's what I do inside here. And I got this on here. I'm giving, again, if you guys came over from Jeremy's channel, I'm giving him a few minutes to relax and savor his recent donation to his business, which I think is pretty awesome. Joseph, thank you, man. What's going on here? Joseph just bought me a smoothie, by the way. And if you don't know how to do that, you just basically go to buymeasmoothie.com. That's the easiest way to do it. And I'll throw that up there too. So if you guys want to do that, because I know Team Mackie, something to start your live stream off. Thank you so much, Joseph. I really appreciate that, dude. That's really cool. The whole buy, it was funny. I found out about this startup basically that was doing this thing, and they refer to it as Buy Me a Coffee. And of course, because of the sort of vanity domains you can get, they have buymeacoff.ee. EE is Estonia, if you don't know. And there's I actually have e-residency in Estonia. So Estonia, realizing that they have a very small country and they just simply can't make enough babies to basically produce enough humans in their country to generate significant tax revenue. They said, hey, let's come up with this e-residency program. So I have e-residency and I do everything online, and I can form a business there. I can open up a bank account there. And for me, that's not really a huge benefit. For people that are doing business, like certainly out of India and that sort of thing, where they need sort of because they're part of the EU, when they need a real sort of EU related business experience for their customers, if they're a digital nomad or something like that, Estonia really offers a really awesome thing for that. And so I would anticipate that idea came up from some guys in Estonia. So again, And I just have a redirect to that, which is just buymeasmoothie.com, because that's kind of what I talk about quite a bit. So anyway, Unique, I hope I answered your questions. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to put them in the chat and or email me at livemyassoff@gmail.com. This is the same cafe you've done a live stream before. It is, Patrick. Thank you for that. That was a while ago. And yeah. So, and the neat thing is that I actually, so anticipating, because I'm drinking water and coffee, anticipating that I'll need a break, I actually made a video walking around, which is like 4 or 5 minutes. And so I'll show you the interior of this place. I also brought my, basically my pigeon cam, but there's no pigeons in here. Fear not. But I really like this place because the atmosphere is really cool. I'm sure you can hear the music in the background, and I'm sure there's going to be some, it's like jazz. I assume it's from like XM radio or something like that. So I anticipate that's going to, be a copyright strike or something silly like that. But I really, I don't really, I certainly don't count on revenue from YouTube. This is more of the, if anything, it's a hobby. Occasionally it's a paid hobby, but that's not a requirement. But again, thank you, Joseph, for buying me a smoothie. So buymeasmoothie.com is the way that you guys can donate to the channel, but it's more so we could potentially hang out, because I anticipate your ability to come to Thailand will show up eventually. Obviously, it won't show up probably as soon as you want it to. I know that I can't get Gracie over here as soon as I want to, but nonetheless, it's good morning, Stuck. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much. And don't forget to hit that like button, everybody. You're so cool, dude. Thank you so much. Stuck is just so rad with the promotion, man. I really, really dig it. Jason says, my viewership has dropped off a cliff since I left Cebu. I expected it, though. Oh, that's too bad. But I suppose that's the deal, right? I mean, I know for me that one of the reasons that it took me so long to just get to 1,000 subs is because I mean, the title of my channel is Live My Ass Off. It's not like, live in the Philippines, live in Thailand, go to Bangkok, go to Phuket sort of thing. But to be fair, like, I mean, the majority of the time that I would be, traveling would, of course, be in Southeast Asia. And indeed, when I would go home to San Diego and make videos, maybe potentially like, once a week or twice a week or something like that. Yeah, for sure the viewership was down because, again, the desire is that. But so I've been trying to keep up with that over here. Obviously, many of us who are content creators have switched to a lot of live streams. Just because, well, for me too, like I've said to you guys before, I mean, it keeps me sane, right? So there's that. But it's also the interaction that I really appreciate, and it's good being able to answer your questions, and which I'm going to get to. And as if you guys have ever been on here before, you know that I'm actually not excellent with the things here. Back in the Big Mango, absolutely, Mr. Mitch. Yeah, I came back yesterday, but if you guys saw my live stream yesterday morning, then you pretty much know why. I didn't see the notification for Jeremy's live stream. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Isn't YouTube just awesome? Did your cool like Howie Mandel wannabe? You know what's funny, dude, is I've had probably 3 or 4 people say that. I've also gotten the whole, Telly Savalas, like how come you don't walk around with a blow pop in your mouth, kind of thing, right? But I appreciate that. Nice to bump into you again. Indeed. There we go. Indonesia, got plans to travel there. I've never thought about going there. So, for the most part, the Indonesia travel is not so much the country, but specifically to like Bali and that sort of thing. It's pretty easy for Gracie to get to Bali. So even if like she's in the Philippines and I'm here in Thailand, we could kind of meet there. But for the most part, obviously, the priority is absolutely to get Gracie here. And I anticipate that's going to probably be able to happen before the end of the year. Todd's a big regular on this channel, T.Y. Dorman, and he's got some killer plans for him coming over here, which I really am stoked about. And he shares that, obviously, on my channel as well as Jeremy's. So, hey, Alabama, what's happening, buddy? Oops, sorry. How about buy me a shot? I'll buy you one, but one's a million and too many is never, or one is too many and a million is never enough for me. So I stay away from those. But e-residency, you can get a passport from Estonia. No, e-residency is simply that. It is electronic residency. And so therefore you can get in and out of Estonia fairly easily. But again, that's not real difficult for someone with a US passport, right? You can easily it's part of the EU. But what it does allow me to do is have the option to, do some additional business over there. And additionally, when it first came out about, I think 5 years ago is when it first came out, I saw it as one of these things that, I was one of the first, I think I was like number 800 that did it. And now there's over 10,000 or whatever, because I actually had to go to the Estonian embassy in Washington, D.C. And then I get a card that was good for 2 years, which is basically my residency card, my e-residency card. And then I needed to renew it. And when I was back in California, then I had to fly up to San Francisco for the day, which was easy and inexpensive, and meet in the consulate, consulate general offices, and get a new one. The other thing about it that I really liked is I wanted to follow sort of the technology rollout, because it is I don't have it with me right now, but it's an ID card, but it's got a chip on it. And the way that you sort of log in with everything is electronically. And so it's this like paradigm of interfacing with the government and paying bills and that sort of thing that I just thought was really interesting. And I wanted to be part of it because I didn't want to just sort of watch from the sidelines. And it was fairly simple. I think it's like $50 or something like that. But you get like a SIM card reader that you plug into a USB port in a laptop. You cannot log in with just like username and password. It's basically, it's not only single factor, but it's also two factor outside of username and password. And so it's really interesting what they're doing. And so anyway, so it's been really sort of neat to be part of that and watch an entire country like transition into, okay, how are we going to improve our country? And I know that I'm right next to the road here, where you'll hear motorbike taxis cruising by. But again, that's part of the plan is to be somewhere where I'm ideally not bothering people. Now I'm talking away from people. And there were a few people, I think, sitting right behind me underneath that umbrella. My speech may have encouraged them to move elsewhere. But at the end of the day, I'm way at the end of the sort of available space here to hang out. And with any luck, and I also want to honor you guys for saying hello to each other. That's like really cool. And it's neat to see that. No, they don't provide a real passport. I can apply for it, of course, but I'm great, Todd. Thank you very much. But it would take significant investment, basically. 25 watching now, need more. No disagreement. That would be awesome. Thank you, Joseph. I really appreciate it. I have a strong urge to say money over biatches. M-O-B, baby. Yes, sir, stuck it is. Money over fannies. Oops. Oh, there we go. Oh, am I not getting... That's kind of weird. It's not like really sort of showing... It's not doing the comments correctly here for me in the browser. I'm not sure why. There we go. Duh. Hello, Mike and the Cool Kids Stable. A year ago, Mike and Jeremy had come back from Pattaya weekend sort of unenthused. If a year ago had come back from Pattaya weekend sort of unenthused, would it seem normal? Actually, for me, it would have. And I kind of touched that out on my live stream about that yesterday, which is, again, I've known Gracie since, it's been Team Mackie basically since, and the reason I say that is because shortly after we met and we decided that this is going to be a team, she made these hats. They have like it was like a Nike hat, but she had embroidery on the side, put Team Mackie. And then on one side it says Team Mackie, on the other side it says 2016. And so that was, I was in the Philippines initially in 2015, December, and then Boracay for basically the most of the first 3 weeks in January in 2016. So, we've been together for more than 4 years. And obviously the initial sort of interface was us chatting like every single day about what we would do eventually when I get back to the Philippines and I can, actually have some degree of life over in this part of the world. But once it was like, after we had been doing this for a year, it was like, okay, let's focus on getting you, Gracie, a U.S. tourist visa so you can come back and forth to the United States because they're good for 10 years and stay for 6 months, which is really the maximum amount of time at that point in my life that I was spending in the United States at any, contiguous amount of time. So we started doing that. And so when I would go down to Pattaya after that, indeed, there are things to do, as Jeremy has mentioned, as I hopefully have showed you. I've been over to Koh Phangan. I like the islands. I never did a video because I don't have a decent enough like GoPro, that sort of thing. But the water park there is amazing. I don't believe it's open right now. But and obviously the first like awesome cinemas in Thailand I went to there, Central Festival, obviously the street food there is really excellent. And there's other things to do there. But the way it was now, so to answer your question, would I have been unenthused? Yes. Would I have been as unenthused as I am now? No, I don't believe so. It is a very different. So, for example, you guys have seen me do, that I joke around about is like only child beach, only child videos, only child resort, that sort of thing. It's just me going to these places. I don't have to share the beach with some people. I love doing that sort of thing. But being in a scenario in Pattaya the way it is right now with so many places closed, like I was walking down Soi 2 2 nights ago when I was walking back to Beach Road from Second Road. And like, there are so many places that are closed that there were portions of the Soi, and I didn't feel concerned for my safety, but there are sections that are literally pitch black just because the buildings are so large on either side because they're like 20-story hotels, right? But the lights are totally off, and there'll be a security guard there maybe, but the chance, I mean, again, it wasn't super late, but at that time of night he's taking a nap. But I will tell you that the interface that I had with everybody, like the bot bus drivers were totally awesome to me. There was no attitude. I can understand why someone, may have had this experience where, you're walking down the street and there's like a row of motorbike taxi drivers, right? And they ask you, hey, do you want to ride? And this happens to me all the time because the minute I get out of the bus station, I walk past the Song Taos, then I walk past all of the motorbike taxi drivers, and I just say, no, my alcohol, I make sure that I'm as polite as possible, and my accent obviously is not good. But to the best of my ability, I say, no, thank you very much, and, as formal as I possibly can, as cordial as I possibly can, because, I'm walking like XSI, I will try and sort of convey that because I like to walk. And so it's like a kilometer, right? But in the mornings when I usually end up down there, it's not that bad. It's not that I sweat for whatever reason, but they were all very cordial with me. When I would say that, they'd be like, oh, okay. One of them I actually stopped and talked to for a little bit. And, I initially, when this all sort of started happening, I saw the change in expression on this one motorbike driver's face when I sort of inquired with him about, how his business is going, the economy, that sort of thing. And I realized from that experience that there is no downside to me not asking these guys about that, because it's not necessarily, I don't want to say touchy subject, but it's disappointing. It's like, hey, how's it going? How's that whole unemployment check thing going, Mike? I mean, you don't ask someone like that in the United States, right? And effectively it was that. Now, to be fair, the guys that started driving for Grab back in March and April, I would ask them, and even one of my buddies, Dana from Bangkok Strange podcast, he asked those guys, how it's going. And one of the guys said that because of COVID, because of all the driving that he was doing with Grab, he made $275,000 baht a month. That is a significant amount of money. And, so that data is sort of interesting. But so to the point of sort of Bangkok versus Pattaya for me, my focus has changed. My priorities have changed. But again, that had happened a while ago, but it was just painfully obvious that there are so many other places in Thailand that I can go. And to be fair, I know Jeremy was going to go down there because he's got a long weekend and he works basically this coming week, Tuesday through, he gets last Friday off and this is coming Monday. So I was going to go down there and we were going to meet and we were going to do basically this live stream, but I was totally late for it this morning. And I'm glad that he did his by himself because it was very more life focused and it wasn't sort of more of a collaboration. Plus he didn't really get to do his normal live stream on Saturday. So it worked out fine. And I'm glad that he's home right now, basically. I'm sure. Well, okay. So if you don't know, and if you watch his channel or you haven't watched mine a lot, what he was having towards the end with all of those amazing donations from Chris, I refer to that as a gratitude attack. He was having an enormous gratitude attack. And that happens in Jeremy's life, as far as I've observed, for things that don't involve money. Trust me, it's not that focused. It's more like, the commitment to the friendship that I would submit that Chris has been. So it was just really awesome. I love Telly Savalas, right? Actually, it's funny. I used to DJ in a nightclub in San Diego called Telly's, and there would be pictures of Telly Savalas' place. And that was sort of interesting. Dorman, thank you for sharing that. I believe that is the article. Also, you sent me the shot from Bangkok Post, where Phuket is, yeah, indeed. Yeah, none of this like October 1st stuff, right? We're going to have to start the people that we're going to be allowed in are going to have to start planning potentially for another thing. And I totally get that. I completely understand why they're doing this. I am still really, I mean, I'm honored to live here. I'm pleased with the Thais' behavior. I love how they're very health conscious focused. But I believe either in that article or in another article that I read, that I saw how they were talking about, hey, look, if there's a second wave, like we can absolutely do this. We can totally do this. This can happen. And, we're getting ramped up and we're getting ready for it because that's obviously a possibility. I'm really thrilled that they're thinking about that. And then they're not just like delusional, like, oh my God, we're never going to have anyone get the flu in our country. We're never going to have anyone get poison ivy in our country. I mean, it's just things are going to occur. Being able to arrest it, of course, the way that they've done, i.e. labeled basically the #1 country in the entire world that's been able to deal with this the way they've dealt with it as a society of 70 million people. I just love being part of that. I mean, I'm part of so much solution right now. It's just amazing. Back, need to change my laptop. In a bit, we'll be listening. Todd, thank you so much, buddy. Glad you guys are. Robert, good to see you. Thank you so much for coming by. And obviously you're getting some hellos from the other guys too. Mr. Mitch, all the regulars. I've never heard about Estonia. Have you thought about going there in person? Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, one of the ways that when they first initially rolled out the program, the only way that you could get a bank account was you had to physically go there to the border. But yeah, I definitely want to go there in the summer when it's warm. It's on the Baltic Sea, and so therefore it's cold. But yeah, it's just one of those areas that, again, as a society, it really interests me how their whole country is basically focused on, okay, where are we going to be in 5 years? Where are we going to be in 10 years? How are we going to improve technology? How are we going to improve our economy? And how are we going to do that through technology? And I just think that that's an awesome part to be. What's the purpose of having an Estonian residency? Barry, hopefully I answered that to the best of my ability. Ad nauseum, I'm sure. And I know that your comment came in about 10 minutes ago, so I apologize for the delay, but hopefully a little bit of my description was helpful. I've lost my predictive text and the heart symbol. How to reactivate? That's a great question. I do not know that. The short answer is reboot your phone, restart your phone, right? I mean, or restart the stream in your browser. And there, Joseph, always with the shakas, baby. Over 14 million. I'm a huge fan of that. 14 thumbs up. Thank you. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thank you for coming over. I absolutely know your name from Jeremy's channel, so that's I'm honored that you've come over here. That's not the place with the mango smoothies, is it? There's many places that have mango smoothies. Currently, the best I've had have been here in Thailand and the Philippines. I got some really good mango smoothies in Boracay, actually. But yes, so this place here, does it have mango smoothies? It does. I've never had one though. I really like their hot mocha, and I'm actually probably going to get another one. I've been here obviously since the beginning of Jeremy's channel, so I may get another cool and refreshing beverage when I take my break, which will be in an hour or two. So not to worry, gents. Hopefully, I will get to some of your questions. I'm good. It's Mike. I worry about. I'm honored, but no need to worry about me, sir. No need to worry about me. I have which water park? Are there multiple in Greater Pattaya? So I don't know the answer to that question if there are multiple. The one that I'm talking about, in fact, I can put the link to it here. It is, I believe, it is, actually, no, there are two, because I believe that there's one over in that place. Let's see. Ramayana is basically the name of this one. And it is in the comments as of now. And so there's another one. So this is the biggest one, and it's more further inland. The other one is over in basically Jomtien, and it's under that place where, if you've really seen the really high building there in Jomtien, it's got basically the two wires coming off of it. One of them is when you're in a cage and you can go down, and the other one is when you can basically bungee jump straight down to the ground. There's one that's over near there. But again, I have no belief that these are open at the moment. So hi, Mike and the other cool kids. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks a lot for coming by. I figured I would let you marinate in your wild success today, dude. So that was like totally awesome. Didn't see the notification. Yeah, I know. Stuck was mentioning that. Yeah, this is. Oh, hey, good question. How's Gracie? So she's great, you know, in the sense that she's as great as we can be when we're apart, right? One of the good things is that this is because you know how like people say I really don't like change. I'm actually a fan of change. I prefer good change. I prefer a briefcase full of $1 million being the change that shows up on the chair next to me versus a briefcase full of a subpoena. Okay. But the point is that, you know, there's not a significant amount of change that is occurring, especially this time of year for Gracie and I. With the exception of us not being together and being back in the Boston area around July, because that was something that we did for, you know, a regular amount of time, such that was normal for us. She would come to the U.S. over the summer, and we would go basically in July. We would go back to see my folks. However, you know, the majority of my vacationing over here was pretty much from about, you know, Thanksgiving time to like mid-January, and then I would go back to San Diego. And a lot of times I wouldn't make it back to Southeast Asia, let alone be able to see Gracie, till a lot of times the earliest was like October. Because October I used to go to Barcelona for a VMworld conference. It's just basically an IT conference. There's one in Las Vegas, and then there's the one that's sort of like for Europe in Barcelona, Spain. And so I would go over there, and then from there I would sometimes I've flown from there to Cebu and see her. My point is that there is actually a lot more historical normal of us not being able to see each other from basically the spring through the fall. It sucks. And obviously the plan was me coming over here in November was Gracie would come over here and she would stay here 90 days at a time. Sorry, 60 days at a time. Because she comes over, she gets a 30-day visa exempt stamp within pretty much the first 2 weeks of her being here. We go to whatever immigration office is near us. And we apply for another additional 30-day extension, which of course is 1,900 baht for her. And that was again going to be sort of the plan and the engine that we were going to use to have a new life over here. And so that is you know, imperfect, right? But nonetheless, you know, she's been able to keep herself. Oh, so here's a great example of how long has it been since you've seen Gracie, Mike? As of 2 days ago, it's been long enough such that after she left here, she was home for almost a month and had braces put on her teeth. Her teeth were then straightened and she's got her braces off now. So that was a real sort of disappointing realization for me the other day. I was obviously very happy for her. As you might guess, 6 months of having braces, her teeth were not all over the place. But her top row of teeth, and I had braces for like 3 years. And so I like to think that my teeth are like pretty straight. Hers look amazing. Plus, you know, I used to smoke and I would drink like a ton of tea and cranberry juice and all that. So my teeth are more yellowed certainly than hers. I mean, she smiles and it's like, she's that picture in the dentist's office that you look at that says, this is what happens when you pay us to have, you know, orthodontia done on your teeth. So they look amazing. She's got the bottom row on, but for the most part, like even when you smile, the bottom row doesn't show up as much as the top. So her teeth look immaculate. And, you know, and she also got them for her daughter, which is a nice thing about living where she lives, because when she goes to like the bigger city, which is Rojas in the Philippines, for, I believe I think it's much less than 50,000 pesos. She got herself and her daughter. We were just going to get her daughter braces. And then she got there and she came back. She goes, oh, I got braces too, because it was such a good deal. And I was like, oh, how much? And it was literally the amount of money that my braces cost me 40 years ago for her to get her and her daughter braces. And so I'm like, all day long, you know. And again, we've had wild success with Gracie getting dental work done here, certainly in Thailand, but she got it done in the Philippines. So that's how long it's been. Enough for Gracie to get braces on and get them off after her teeth got straightened. So absolutely. Yeah, you missed I would eventually, well, if for no other reason, then I would recommend you go back and watch Jeremy's live stream, the last 10 or so minutes of it. Especially if you don't really know him, because my judgment of what occurred then was, again, a ridiculously genuine and honest gratitude attack. And it was just really neat to see, because again, Jeremy and I have evolved past acquaintanceship, right? We're beginning a friendship. It's a default level of friendship. We haven't known each other for like 10 years, you know, but we see eye to eye on a lot of things. I believe that we have a very similar definition of integrity, which certainly for me helps me to define more of a trajectory towards additional friendship. So anyway, it was just awesome to see his success today. So anyway. Sounds like a good idea for a video interview. A Songtao or motorbike taxi driver sounds like they got a story to tell. You know, I really wish I could do that, Hike, in the sense that I wish I could do it well. The ridiculously horrible Thai that I speak, I have no skills in that area, and the broken English that a lot of them will speak. If you've ever this happens not just with Thais and not just with Filipinos, but many people that don't speak English well. They'll do their best to speak English, but when there's any sort of publicity of that interchange, they get pretty shy. Like Gracie, I mean, well, I wanted to bring her on this live stream. You know, I talk pretty fast to begin with, but English is also my native language, right? And she always makes the comment. She's like, "Oh no, my English is horrible," which of course she says that statement in perfect English. But a lot of times they're shy to have, you know, so being on camera for that sort of thing. But I agree, that would not be a lousy one. I've seen other bloggers who do it, and I'm reluctant to do it unless I knew one as a very close acquaintance. I know, like, the guards in my condo, I'm starting to know them pretty well, to the sense that, like, you know, when you come down or whatever, also the one guy at the BTS, you know, they salute you, right, when you come in and then take your temperature or whatever. So this one guy, whenever I get off the elevator, I get on, he stands up, clicks his heels together, because they have like the metal things on his heel, and then he salutes me and stuff. Well, now it's gotten to the point where he does that, but then we slap hands like this, and then we fist bump. And I've also taught him to do this. So I bet he's probably the only Thai citizen in the world that's starting to learn, you know, Shaka. So Joseph, I bet you'll be happy about that. So when you do this, it's always 14 million and one, 28 million and one, because it's the guy in my lobby. Got any good stories about being a DJ? So sober, the ones from me when I was using this channel, my mom watches, let's be clear. Bangkok Strange actually is a more appropriate place for me to share some of the good stories about me being a DJ, because they involve a lot of debauchery. If you define that as a good story. But as far as being a DJ, you know, when I was sober, it was just tons of fun, and I was better at it, and I interacted with the crowd better. I believe I gave them a better performance. You know, I talked more with my music than with my ego, if you will, you know, the way I would mix stuff, and I had everyone, you know, really doing a really great job. 275,000 bought a month. Are you sure that isn't a mistake? It's very doubtful. No, absolutely. That's what he did. If you don't know what happened when there was lockdown here, that came, and there were not enough motorbike taxi drivers that had yet signed up for Grab. Because you don't just like put a green vest on. You have to sign up for Grab. You have to sign up for Food Panda. There were all these crazy, and again, so first of all, there's a lack of guys doing it. And I completely believe him, actually, because I don't believe he's making that anymore, because now there's more Grab drivers than there are Grab deliveries, right? Grab food is what I'm talking about. When I first started ordering stuff, because there was lockdown, there wasn't lockdown, okay? I mean, I could go out, but it was like, look, you're not going out. You can't go on the BTS except for like maybe between like, you know, 8 in the morning and 4 p.m. and all of this anyway. So the default setting was you stay home. And for me, that meant I ordered groceries. And so I was doing that through this new company / app called Happy Fresh. And there were times when I literally could not get it. I could order my food, then it would just sit there in the cart. Like they would not let me, even 4 or 5 days out, I couldn't schedule it. They did not have enough drivers. They would send me apologies. And now I could literally order groceries right now and hit the submit button, and they would potentially be back at my house, which is a 13-minute walk from here, faster than I mean, it's going to take them longer to get my groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like put it in the cart. So, you know, I tend to believe that. I believe that was it's a ton of money. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, and you got to remember too, when these guys, like, basically they had no other job. they were working like basically from the minute they could ride around when there was no curfew all the way to the end. Like they would go all the way to the end. You would see these guys, pounding those M150s and stuff, just like get the stuff around. But again, it's not sustainable. So I saw that they are offering hotels in Phuket for expats till October 31st at a huge discount. Before I saw that, and I knew that was going to happen. Yes, indeed, there are a huge discount. Additionally, Koh Phangan, if you know where that is, if you guys know, probably heard of Koh Samui. North of Koh Samui is Koh Phangan. And there's no airport there. It's basically the full moon party island, even though that's like such a small piece of it. Quite frankly, there's probably a higher density of people that are into yoga and people doing yoga retreats there than people going to full moon parties and half moon parties and that sort of thing, parties and that sort of thing. Anyway, so there are places there that we're renting for $25,000 a month on the beach that my buddy David, who's there right now, has told me that they're going for like $4,000 and $5,000 a month on the beach. And so what I'm thinking of doing is potentially getting a 6-month or a 1-year lease on a place down there for like $4,000 or $5,000 baht a month, like right on the beach. Like if you remember my video that I did, I want to say like 2 weeks ago, maybe 3, whenever I was down in Koh Phangan, and how I had that like bungalow for 700 baht a day right there on the beach. It was the one closest to the beach and all of the other ones were closed. I want to get one that's got a kitchen in it, right? But yeah, I mean, I have no doubt that I could, considering I can get a motorbike for 150 baht on a wicked tourist. I mean, and these are like brand new motorbikes, like keyless start and that sort of thing. I'm sure I could get one a month for, less than 3,000 baht. That's for sure. And so I'm anticipating doing that. Phuket is really, for some reason, it just isn't my place. I like Phuket quite a bit. Gracie and I have had great times there. I had a great time there recently, hanging out with Rob, exploring Camel, exploring Surin Beach, exploring Bangkok, and going around. But for some reason, Koh Phangan like really fits me. It really is like my sort of speed. And there are actually, expats. There's an expat community there of basically digital nomads, and they have co-working spaces and that sort of thing. And so anyway, so my business, the guy that runs the business that I've invested in, David, who I've known for about 5 years now, he's the CEO. He's down there, for this long weekend, and he's giving me some great tips. Not the least of which is, hey, Mike, you can get a bungalow on the beach for 4,000 a month, 5,000 a month, 5,000 a month. Let's just say that. So yeah, so I may be doing that, Todd, because what I want to do on that which I have done here too, but what I want to do on that lease is have Gracie be a second resident, basically on that beach, and then I have the ability to get her proof of residency. Which again, if they do the whole let's open up the islands thing, meaning they open up Samui, which is an infinitely smaller sort of control group, if you will, and there's a ton of Thais already working on Samui, whereas Phuket, I mean, nobody's working. I mean, like even in like sort of the non-tourist areas. I mean, at least in Koh Samui, the non-tourist areas that are more Thai, I mean, like there was traffic. Like I was sitting in traffic waiting for the cars to go in front of me in Samui in some areas. The night market was completely filled. There was no space to park my motorbike. There was a guy on the road with a whistle blowing it constantly. You know how the guys that like direct traffic in Thailand do? They just blow these whistles constantly, super high pitch. And he's like navigating, moving people around because there was like nowhere to park to go to this night market. So in that sort of Thai scenario, that Thai community, they're working. And so because of that, I thought, well, maybe they'll open up Samui in a way that they're not necessarily going to open up Phuket, maybe. And if that's the case, then if Gracie can come in there, then I can get her, proof of residency, which again, is another way I'm going to try and get her over here. It's going to be 2021 before any kind of reopening. I would agree like that, like I mentioned before, as far as like tourism for guys like us, meaning that the normal way we've come in here is on a 30-day visa exempt stamp, by the way. I think land borders will open by Christmas. And by that, you mean, so I don't disagree with you, but I'm curious where you got that data, Todd, because you give me a ton of, and thank you, by the way, and of like links to the Phuket News, the Tiger, and then Bangkok Post relative to this whole topic. And as I mentioned before, I definitely want to have Todd on as a guest once he gets over here, and it'll probably be like a 7-hour live stream because I want him to walk through the entire process. So ideally, you guys can like potentially take notes, use the video as a reference for you to get yourself over here if you so desire. Money over Fanny's. Estonia is one of the most digitized countries in the world. Yeah, big time. And I really, and that was another, I just really wanted to be a part of that. And I haven't used it really too much in my benefit because, again, you know, not only can I form a business within kind of like 24 hours in the United States. I mean, if I want to just do some silly LLC next finish on, I almost said homegrocer.com. No. On LegalZoom, right? If I want to do that, then I can get that. And then of course the state takes its time to like get you the paperwork. And so that's not that, bad, but Cambodia as well, especially for like, non-Western, primarily Caucasian population type, people that would be labeled as Farang, countries. I would agree that Estonia has definitely got to be one of the most. In fact, I don't know any ones that would be more so. But as I mentioned before, I think Cambodia has really stepped up their game on making it really easy to be part of that. And Todd with an e-visa. 1 million is what I call change. Yeah, exactly. Especially if it's in a briefcase, right? That's positive change. I love people that say, "Oh, I hate change." I'm like, trust me, if I showed up with a briefcase full of $1 million, you'd be all about change. Who is the strange bald dude in some random garden? Actually, I'm not even wearing pants, Danny. You may need to come over here with a blanket because I don't know if I can stand up and get out of here. Actually, you want me to stand up? I can do that right now. Okay, no, don't do it? Okay, all right, fair enough. It's Mikey Salavas. Exactly. Telly didn't have anything on me. I've been shaving for weeks now. I love being bald. It is so efficient for me. I have my front grill, my teeth redone, top and bottom. Yeah, it makes a difference, right? Hey, Mike, sorry. Oh, Scott, you're never late. Trust me, dude. I mean, you posted that at 11 o'clock. It's now 11:10. So you're not late. I am, my friend. Why are San Diegans so damn happy? You're even happy than denizens of the rest of SoCal. What's the secret? So I don't know, dude. I can't tell you. All I can tell you is that, I can speak for myself. And, look, I'll just say this. There's a lot of people in the United States that have this belief, and it's basically marketed via word of mouth in the United States, that San Diego has perfect weather, right? So it's not like super hot and humid like many people don't like Orlando would be, for example, in like July or August. It doesn't get hot and humid like it does like maybe in New York City in July or August, right now it's like 100 degrees in San Diego, but that's rare. And that happens usually in September. The first or second week in September is pretty much the hottest time in San Diego. So many people in the United States believe that they have perfect weather. It's tropical, but it's also got desert, right? So, it does offer a lot. It's expensive. And for me, that was distracting. And for other people, that is distracting, but it's still not distracting enough for them to not leave. I require hot and humid. Like right now, I'm kind of sweating, but I have this fan on me, and I'm more than okay with that. I am more than okay. I've heard, JC, right? JC, retired chief.asia. One of the things that he would always describe, because he's actually from Florida, he would describe that when it got over here so hot, he would refer to it as oppressive heat. And he would say it's that kind of heat where you're wearing a shirt and you're just sitting out there and there potentially is like not necessarily even sun on you and you can feel the sweat like dripping down. I love that. I'm like, oh my God, if I'm there, that means I am in the tropical climate that I just love. And so there's that. San Diego has a very realistic work climate. Obviously, like all of the U.S., right, there's rights that, workers get, right? Okay, so there's that. And, the minimum wage is higher because, of course, it costs more money to live there. I think the minimum wage is like $15 an hour. Trust me, when I told Gracie that, she freaked out. She's like, what? Wait, 450 pesos in 1 hour is the minimum amount legally that someone has. She's like, come on. And I'm like, yes, but unfortunately, my rent is 2.7 million pesos a month, right, kind of thing. And so I sort of found that you can do a lot outdoors. There's at least 300 sunny days a year. And if you don't like the beach, then, literally on the same day, I've only done this once, but I have before gone to the beach, water skiing. And then later that day, I was on a ski slope. So it was like 3.5 hours drive from San Diego, Mission Bay, and we did it to do it. It just didn't happen randomly. Because in other words, just to get up there, you know, it was one of those deals where you buy like the afternoon/evening pass to go skiing up to Big Bear. I mean, so that's, you know, again, that all of that is a possibility. Jayhawks, Mike, have you ever toured Colombia or anywhere in South America? If so, how would you say it compares to Thailand? Looking for alternative trips. Since it seems like Thailand is a no-go this year. Well, Jayhawks, I'll tell you this. One of the guys that comes on this channel pretty regularly, he's down in Scuba Tom. He's down in Mexico. And so I have a lot of experience in Mexico. South America, I have zero experience with that. And even Central America, I don't have any experience. In fact, Gracie is the only team member of this of us that has been down to Central America. Before I even met her, she'd been to Nicaragua and whatever is next to it. Not necessarily Panama, but something down near there. She had a boyfriend from Atlanta. If I've never told you this story, one of the reasons that Gracie, I believe, the story that she tells me, and I believe her, is so sort of soured on, you know, meeting a rich white guy, which again, I get that that's all relative from the perspective of where she lives in the province in the Philippines. I have means. I get that. But the guy that she dated, but basically before me, he was a billionaire. And she was so disgusted with like how obsessed he was about money, how he thought money was the answer to everything, how much time he would spend away from her. Because he was like working whatever, and then he would just be like, look, here's, you know, X amount of hundreds of thousands, potentially pesos or dollars, whatever, just go shopping and make yourself happy. And of course, a lot of girls would be like, oh my God, that's my fantasy. That's the best thing I got to do, you know. But she was like, as you might know of Filipinas, they would much rather spend physical time in the relationship. You know, like the 5 love languages, right? Like gifts, spending time together, quality time together, communication, touch, you know, that sort of thing, right? I would submit that the majority of the Filipinas, certainly from what the ones that, the finite number that I've known or dated, and the way Gracie is, that her love language is spending time together. And spending quality time together is ideal, but spending time together. Like she just, I mean, I've shared with you guys this before. There's 2 things that she's said to me that I was just like, okay, I'm done. You're it. You are my future ex-fiance, and therefore you are my life. You are my future mate. And she is my mate now. It's just that there's no silly paperwork done yet. So hopefully that answered your question, Jayhawks. But I would caution you about places in Mexico. If you're looking to just go south of the U.S., I would encourage you to potentially look at Belize. I have friends that have been down there who have invested down there, who have gone down there. They use the U.S. dollar as does Panama. And so it's, you know, pretty cool to go down there. Jib had braces when we met. I never had them. My bottom teeth are jacked up. But when I was a pro fighter, I always figured I would get a few knocked out, but it never happened. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, so yeah, in fighting, Dana, you just wear like the top piece, right? Is that what those guys like spit out? It's just the top teeth, not necessarily the bottom. Well, I mean, shit, you've been here longer than I have. You know that you can like walk down the street, and by the time between your house and getting to the next BTS stop, you will easily pass 10 dentists that are probably excellent and very reasonably priced at putting braces on. And the bottom ones, man, you can get those done. No one even know. I mean, they might show up, you know, as a reflection in the Bangkok Strange podcast, which of course would deplete the ratings. So I completely get that. Santa Maria, Colombia is where the checkout. Ah, good to know. Thank you, Billy. And thank you for the recent comments on my videos, Billy. That's really cool. Dude, I know a motorcycle win that speaks English and we can interview. Absolutely awesome. We'll definitely have to get him on either my thing here to answer his question or Bangkok Strange. That'll be cool. Watch out. He already had a hot chocolate. Watch. Nice. Oh, snap. I actually want another... Gomar hike. When's the next hike? Yeah, his videos are kind of cool, right? I mean, he's out in nature and he's got a very high quality camera too, which is really cool. My wife's shy in her English too. Yeah, and especially like sort of in public, right? Gracie was really timid to speak English with my parents. And, you know, my mom, after speaking with her, she said to me, like to the side, she's like, her English is better than some Americans I know. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because, of course, when you learn English, you learn to speak it. Like, you know, there's no slang necessarily. Right? Need to take a shower and we'll be back. Good to know, Joseph. Thank you very much, buddy. I really appreciate it. SoCo and Coke. Yeah, exactly. Actually, it would just be SoCo for me. 3 to 5 bottles of 100 proof Southern Comfort a night. So kind of needed to stop that. Rob was thinking of taking a walk tomorrow morning. Ah, good to know. So there'll be a video coming out from you. I met a few that made over 400,000 baht the first 2 months of lockdown. Dana, remind me, you were the guy that shared the story of the 275,000 baht a month, right? For the Grab guys, for the Grab food guys. I swear it was you that said that. Phuket is day for 5 days. I kind of know what you're saying, but again, it depends where you go. And again, I know that you've been to the whole, by ourselves with a bungalow on the beach in Surin. So I get that. But again, it depends what you do. I'm very much looking forward to Koh Phangan for 10 days coming up this Wednesday. And our buddy David, Dana, he's down there now, and he's been telling me, dude, there's like 25,000 baht a month bungalows on the beach for 5,000. And I'm seriously considering like doing a 6-month to 1 year lease. And that will basically be the cool kids table. So if any of you guys get over here, Dana, as well as my buddy David, if you guys want to use that one, I'm not using it because I definitely won't be down there 30 days a month. We should work out a schedule. Jib says your pronunciation is getting Jib is ridiculously gracious as well as an excellent liar. But thank you. Jib is his wife, by the way. And she actually needs to work on her sarcasm towards how bad my Thai is. Although I anticipate that the hole in the shorts that I need to have sewn by you, she is probably going to sew a condom on it so that I walk around with a lot of public embarrassment on the forefront. So Phuket was good for a visit. I can understand why you guys say that. I totally get that. Samui has had great meetings. So I didn't go to any there. Although I can tell you, dude, Koh Phangan, those meetings were awesome. I'm totally stoked to go back. So shoot me an email, livemyassoff@gmail.com. Shoot me an email, Billy. I don't mind talking about that topic on here. Believe me. I am very publicly non-anonymous. I am obsessed with everybody else's anonymity. Trust me, I will never tell anybody about people that I see at gatherings. But I can understand why that might be weird for people. But yeah, livemyassoff@gmail.com, Billy. Send me an email. I would love to get together and have some meetings. Additionally, if you're on Zoom meetings that you think are really good, I basically go to noon ones here in Bangkok. Usually every day, pretty much. I mean, I won't go today. It's 11:19. I couldn't make it there, and I'm late doing my live stream because I like Jeremy was having a gratitude attack on behalf of him when he was getting all that money from Chris. So that was great. Yeah, Phuket is a great visit, but I don't know how people live there. It's a bit lame compared to Bangkok for city life and lame compared to other beaches. Yeah, I mean, you know what's funny, Dana, is that David made the comment. He says that he believes that Koh Phangan, what am I doing, has the best beaches. He believes that is the best Thai island. And, because it's got a good mix of everything. He loves the expat community that he's interfaced with over there so far. He's psyched that it's got a little co-working space. He, like, me and potentially you as well, is very empathetic as well as concerned about the long-term ability for an island like that is highly dependent on foreign tourism, how well they're going to survive. But I get that. Land borders by Christmas is just my opinion. Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering, man. Trust me, I wasn't putting you on the spot. I love the fact that, I got to tell you right now, dude, if I needed to hire somebody to provide me like data on what's happening on a daily basis in Thailand, Todd's my guy. He is absolutely the one that I'm reaching out to because he, right now, for fun and for free, provides me with a lot of information. It's freaking amazing. Oh, good. My FICO score just increased. Wait a minute. Hold on. What's going on here? Oh, anyway, yeah. So thank you to Joseph, by the way, for buying me a smoothie, because it goes into my PayPal directly, by the way. Like, so the $5 you use to buy me a smoothie, that $5 goes directly into PayPal. Like, there's no fee along the way. That's pretty rad. Riding a scooter Samui is deadly, and I used to race motocross. Yeah, so here's the thing with Samui is in this climate, I ride a motorbike in Samui. No way on a regular time frame, even back in February of this year, I would not have ridden a motorbike. Riding a motorbike in Koh Phangan, I'm totally cool with that. I would not ride a motorbike in Bangkok, even when there was curfew. I wouldn't. And interestingly enough, even though Pattaya was dead this past few days, I was like, well, maybe I'll rent a motorbike and cruise up to Pratamnak Hill, because I really wanted to go to Big Buddha, but the taste in my mouth, no pun intended, but no innuendo intended, let's just say, about Pattaya was very similar to what I said yesterday in the live stream, as well as, what Jeremy was talking about. But just to expand on sort of my deal, it was a combination of the fact that I was really aware, because of what was happening around me, and what was available around me, at how focused I am on basically not being a man whore, and how thrilled I am about that, and how grateful I am that Gracie's in my life, but also how dead Pattaya was. And so I was thinking, well, maybe I'll rent a motorbike and I'll cruise up to Big Buddha, because I have been Pratamnak Hill on my motorbike before, but for the most part, I will not rent a motorbike in Pattaya either, and I didn't this last time. Already open for the Yaba trade, yeah. Good to know. That's a good diuretic. But not sure I agree. We have just had a small spike of case. Yeah, I mean, again, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Riding a scooter anywhere in Thailand can be. Yeah, well, sure, of course, yeah, absolutely. And there are places that I decide. Again, Koh Phangan, totally on board with it. Let's see, where else? Koh Chang, which I really love, which is just basically west of Sriracha. That was easy motorbike riding. Koh Larn, piece of cake over there. So, hey, Dana, by the way, where I am right now is the coffee shop that I want to use for our upcoming meetup, basically. Some of you may have seen my post, as well as my discussion around this new app that is available, that is pretty much in beta. Anyway, it's called Oodymate, OODYMATE. And the reason, I'll show you the sort of what it looks like if you're curious about downloading it, is, they don't have their logos to show. Anyway, OODYMATE. And it's kind of like a meetup app, but Oody, meaning foodie, that's where they get it from, for people to meet. And the maximum number of people that can meet are 5, which I find a little bit odd. But nonetheless, the guy posted in the local group that I'm part of. And I'm a fan of people that are like doing technology, at least for the point that they believe will add value to society and potentially want to make money along the way. Put it this way, I don't believe this guy's making an app that will cause any harm to people, okay? So I thought, okay, well, this is kind of interesting. So I signed up for Oodymate. And one of the things that they're offering right now is they're like, look, to get some visibility about this app, what we would love for you people that are on social media or whatever to do is you guys schedule some Oodymates, have people show up, and, we'll pay for the coffee for everyone that shows up. And I'm like, well, that's cool, because at a place like this, like coffee's like, I don't know, 100 baht for basically a coffee, which is pretty reasonable. But, if you meet at a Starbucks, I mean, it's like 310 baht, for like a grande or venti caramel macchiato kind of thing, right? So anyway, so I said, okay, well, I'll schedule something for basically like in a couple of Mondays here in Bangkok for people that are in Bangkok, because, you can only invite 5 people anyway. Anyway, this is where it would be, Dana. And coming up during the break, I will show a video of where I am. Oops, sorry. That was actually sort of Vietnam, but they are going for plans to open flights to 2 Asian cities. Oh, outbound? What about inbound? Sorry, 6 Asian cities. Yeah. Thanks, Todd. To Vietnam. I think Thailand will still open up Phuket, but I have strong doubts that they would open land borders, as that is a much greater risk. And that's sort of like the debate. Hey, Mindsub, good to see you. Thanks a lot for coming by. How late am I on? I'm probably about 15 minutes behind on comments. Now, I was 10 minutes behind on comments. Of course, that's probably why I went from 32 people watching to 23 people watching. There's nothing in any of the countries that Cambodia has nothing. Neither does Thailand. They had 1 case in 100 days. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, totally. We're number 1 in the world, dude. Number 1 in the world. And again, like Dana and I have pretty much discussed, best city in the world. Bangkok, best big city in the world for sure. Why would they offer these huge discounts to expats in country up to the end of October when the safe and seal on Phuket is supposed to start October 1st? Yeah, there's new news on that, which of course you shared, Todd, and I completely agree. And if they still do Phuket over 1 case, there is no reason not to open. Oh, I mean, dude, trust me, applying logic to this, I think, is a fool's errand. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense why some of this is done. I can understand, though, and I do, like I said before, I completely appreciate and honor the fact that Thailand is absolutely focused on health over economy. That doesn't scale necessarily. That is not sustainable long term. But nonetheless, I do appreciate the fact that that's what they're doing. Laos had rising cases. Thailand had over 20 new cases last week, but they were all in quarantine and they were not counted towards the totals, right? Because they came in from elsewhere. One of the new cases, the prison guy. So that's caused concerns about the outbreak. I guess their test. They were going to initially test, I think, 40 people, and the recent report I saw was they're going to test 600. Maybe it was 400 people that were sort of like interfacing with him, kind of thing. So. Thailand's big concern with Cambodia and Myanmar is that migrant workers will bring in the new cases as population. They also believe that they'll come in illegally. So I've heard that there are reports of them increasing their border patrol. So that's sort of interesting. Dion, good to see you. Good morning to you as well. Were you in Pattaya over the last few days? I got back from there yesterday. Was busier than I expected, but I guess due to the long weekend. Well, Dion, I'm bummed about that. So got back where? Up here in Bangkok? Yeah, I was. Yeah. So the short answer is yes. So I went down on the bus on early Friday morning, and it was cool. I got to see some buddies down there at two meetings during the day, basically. I was over in Jomtien. I went over there and hung out. I really like this one coffee shop. It's Amazon Cafe. I mean, it's a chain, but nonetheless, I like it. I like the view. It's where I've done one of my first live streams. I was able to hang out over there. I got a blind massage, which I'd never had before, which is really cool. I highly recommend the experience. So that was cool. But again, I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah, I was down there. I'm curious why you came back. Was it just that it was busier than you expected? I agree with that. I understand what you mean by that. It was certainly busier than the last time I walked down Beach Road, which was a weekday, to be fair, when I was coming back from Koh Phangan. But, oh, Joseph, dude, you're like double dipping. Thank you again for the $5, bro. That's totally awesome. Look at it. I mean, this is how... Looks like you need a mango smoothie. Team Mackie, something to... Joseph says I need a mag. It's only been an hour, though. I hate to take a break after only being an hour. And I'm not going to, clap my hands and have the person come over. The way it works here is you order something and they give you one of those, vibrating pager thingies that has, lights on it and beeps. You order at the desk and then they notify you it's ready and you go get it. So I don't expect them to come over. But yeah, that's true. I mean, it was busier than the last time I saw it. It was not as busy as I expected it to be. I expected it to be pretty busy. There were basically only little pockets of places that were busy. And of course, the majority of the tourists that I saw, were Thais, right? But Thai going back to that doesn't have to be tested before they go, not from foreigners, but the foreigners are getting it from the plane, apparently, because they have. Yeah, that is kind of odd that they're not bothering to test them. I can understand, you could argue that they test a whole bunch of Thais because, they're Thai citizens. They should be bringing them back to their home country. But, they should, one could argue that there might be enough people that are infected where they have a plane just filled with people that have been tested to be infected. Again, I don't know. That might be a really stupid idea. It might be really naive on my part, but one could argue that would prevent the scenario that Dana's talking about from happening. And, Joseph, anyway, thank you very much for the smoothies. Thank you very much for buying me a smoothie, and therefore thank you for the PayPal. I'm honored. Thailand has a plan to make them do quarantine before being allowed to go to work, but they are tested when they get here. Yeah. Let me also share. I think I shared this yesterday, but Todd and Dana may not have heard it. So I saw the process that occurs when Thais come back into the country and they get quarantined. They get put in one of those buses that basically looks like a discotheque with 45 mirrors on each side. It's 2-story, purple, yellow, green, fluorescent light. They bus them down to this hotels, right? Quarantine hotels in Pattaya. And then there's people wearing hazmat suits. There's red trash barrels everywhere where they put what they call infectious waste. They have a special white trash truck taking them away. So it was neat to sort of see that because I kind of wanted to wonder what happens when they get picked up at the airport. Well, they get quarantined in the bus right away. When you fly in, yes, quarantine for 14 days before you do anything when you fly in, but land crossing opens up much issues with that. I agree, but again, they do have the app. I don't know if they can force people to use the app on the phone to track the place, but I always check in. I checked in here, QR code. If you fly to Bangkok and Phuket, there is enough infrastructure to support. Yes, exactly, but not at the land crossings. Migrant worker thought Thailand had plans for them to be tested and quarantined. Well, they do, but again, there's the issue with them potentially getting across the border. Riding a motorbike is tons of fun. Yeah, it is for you. It is. I pass. Taking the BTS is fun for me. That's enough fun. Last time I talked to my friends from immigration, they were saying it's not viable for migrants because they're expecting a massive influx. I see. That makes sense. The app is super beta. Yeah, I agree. I can appreciate the guy's responses, and I'm glad that he was open to the criticism that I got from, oh my God, I forgot. One of the guys on this channel, actually, Mariano from Germany. He's the one he clicked on the link and he gave me this very detailed like analysis of it, and what still needed to repair. And I forward that on to the guy Chu, who was basically the Thailand representative for that app. But best city in the world is no questions asked. I mean, I can tell you right now, I mean, certainly right at this moment, because of everything that I can still do, I would label this as the best place. There's nothing I can't get here that I want. I pay more for stuff than I do because of the volume that occurs with items that are at Costco in San Diego. Yeah. But I can get anything. I can get great food. I can get great pizza, obviously, but I just might pay a little bit more for it, but it's not like it's unavailable. That's for sure. They're saying that the migrant work camps were hit hard because they have so many people living together. Yeah, and probably in pretty close proximity. Good to see you, Joseph. Thank you so much for coming back, and thank you again for buying me a smoothie. I will actually go get a smoothie here shortly when I go for my break. But Hugh says with land borders, you lose the containment control. Yeah, and I think that's what everyone started talking about. Singapore cases have been the main nexus for new cases. Is not as most live in the same crowded building. Yeah, exactly. The workers over there for sure. Dion asks, was there a staff team building trip staying at Dusat Thani? Friday night was fairly busy compared to the night before. The hotel was quite busy. So Dion, you might have been, were you staying near Dusat Thani? You mean the one that's basically on North Pattaya Road? I was just staying down at the Markland, which is, I'm sure is an older building. It needed work for sure. I anticipate actually they're probably going to be closing the hotel portion of that, because they're just not getting the people. And obviously floor 11 through I think 11 through like 22 are condos, so people that live there, so it really doesn't sort of cost anything to maintain that. That's part of what they do anyway. Todd says they are already going in illegally, but if you open the borders, you can regulate people coming through the border. Yeah, in theory you can, but who knows whether that would actually be a reality. What is he doing in Bangkok? What am I doing in Bangkok? I live here. Things won't open properly till vaccines are widespread. Yeah, and I'm hearing that as well. And again, if your definition of widespread. Oh, and Rupert, I do want to let you know that the money you gave me for the Koh Phangan guy, I did buy it. But I was in an area where I was in a scenario and I was with friends where taking photos and that sort of thing was not really appreciated, kind of thing. I was actually with another vlogger, but both of us were like, no, we're not taking videos of these people. They just kind of want to remain anonymous. And I was totally okay with that. But I did have the Rupert Koh Phangan guy. It was excellent. Thank you very much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Vaccines already in the market, Russia, USA in a few weeks. Yeah, for sure. Pala, absolutely, dude. I do want to check out the other pizza places that people say too, and I'm okay with going there and not having pizza that's as good as Pala. But oh, Chip. It is so good to see you. So Chip was one of my engineers when we were at KFMB. Both of us were working there. He was a long time engineer, long before he came to KFMB. He worked at other, high visibility stations in San Diego, Z90, that sort of thing, if you know the San Diego market. But yeah, he and I, it was neat. We really developed a decent friendship. And it was at a time that I'm sure Chip would relay to you, where I was a new director for sure. I wasn't sort of new to management, but I wasn't great at it. So I wasn't necessarily the best boss in the whole world. But I was learning along the way. And the good news about Chip is that he was very understanding as I was trying to do that. But he was also, good technically. So it was neat to be able to. We worked on some crazy projects, like doing so many things at the last minute. And we had a pretty good time. We have a lot of good memories of certainly crazy people that we got to work with. But no, unfortunately, there was no Phil's Barbecue. Phil's Barbecue is very famous in San Diego, if you guys not know that. Yeah, yes. Oh, you said the distance, honey? It's nice. How much was it? Like a couple thousand baht a night, probably, right? Oyster from the Pacific Northwest at Burmah Street in Bangkok is excellent. Well, Billy, so wait. Okay, so maybe you know where I go at noontime. Maybe I just don't know your real name. But yes, I will have to try that because I've walked by that. It's a restaurant on Ekamai, if you guys don't know. I've walked by there many times, and so I will actually head in there and have some oysters. But to be fair, I actually couldn't tell a good oyster. I mean, I could tell a bad one if it had like gasoline in it, or if there was like tons of salt in it, or something like this. They didn't clean it properly. But I'm not a big oyster guy. But I don't mind having it. Arrows being allowed to back into. That's a good question, Todd. I'm not quite sure. I think they might be. Actually, I think they might be. Went to Gulliver's Thursday night, explored walking on Friday night to see how the things are. Certainly nothing like when the borders were open. Absolutely. So that's funny, Dion. I was on Walking Street Friday night. I wonder when you were there. I think I was there at like about 10:30. And, I wasn't hiding myself, but I literally basically just walked all the way down to pretty much past Insomnia. And then everything was like really, really dark. And there was just like sort of some more Indian places. And so I just kind of turned around and went there. But yeah, we were probably making the rounds at the same time. It's too bad we didn't run into each other. Need to build a wall. Yeah, I love when people say that. Yeah, okay, Donald. The funny thing about building a wall is that where I lived in San Diego, there are two walls, and there have been two walls for a long time. There's the Mexican wall, and then there's the U.S. wall. As you might guess, the U.S. wall is better quality. It's got more cameras on it. It's got a ton of cameras on it. It's got infrared. It's got, sensors and all this stuff. And it goes way out into the ocean, so you can't just basically like swim in. There are sensors in the water. And then there's a road in between both walls. So I get that there were places where there isn't a wall, and he was going to have them pay for it. But that was just sort of interesting because I'm like, dude, all I got to do is drive like 4 minutes. In fact, it was one of the many only child beaches that were available to me in San Diego, just south of Imperial Beach, where I used to walk, and I had the whole beach to myself, and I basically could walk that beach all the way to the border, all the way to the Mexican border. And then you look across, and there's tons of Mexicans, and they're all there at the beach. And trust me, they're not looking over there going, oh my God, the promised land. I want it. They're like, no, there's no way. I don't want to go over there. Again, locks keep honest people out. If you want to break into the country bad, I could break into the country bad enough. I have a system for that. I have guys for that. It's not cheap, but I can absolutely break into the United States from Mexico. I had to have that solution in place because of how ridiculously dangerous it was down there, which is why I can speak from personal experience. Why when people say, oh, Mexico's dangerous, people are like, oh, no, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, okay, for the majority of the tourists that go to very touristy areas like Cancun and like Isla Mujeres and that sort, it is not dangerous. It's fairly normal, but just be careful if you're going to Mexico and have a plan for getting out of where you are quickly. Let's just say that. Oh, cool. Right on, Billy. 20. Well played, Joseph. There you go. You see what he's doing is he's adding the number of smoothies that have been purchased by Buy Me a Smoothie. That's cool, dude. 24 thumbs up. I'm excited about that. That's great. Is it okay? So you've been there before, Dana? All right, awesome. Well, you and I should go there then. About the same time. So crazy, but it wasn't. Literally, I just walked down. I didn't go to any places. I just like walked down and walked back. Nice. Dion says one of my new co-workers was curious about the scene, so it took him down there, popped in for a couple bars and then left. Yeah, I get it. I mean, it's like, yeah, what's this like? But I mean, it's such a non-party experience, really. I mean, you can absolutely have a party experience if you went down there. I mean, it's not like LK Metro was shut down. that place was going, that's for sure. Although I don't know if Devil's Den was open. That is an absolute. That is an extreme party experience, Devil's Den. At least that's what my friends tell me. Ha ha ha. That was a long time ago. The Edge Markets article, COVID-19 migrant workers among foreigners allowed to oh, okay, fair enough. Oh, wow, look at that. I'm caught up on comments. I still got 31 people watching. This is outstanding. All of a sudden, watch all that. They're like, oh, yeah, Mike, you think we can't flood your freaking comment thing with a whole bunch of... And but that's cool. I like it when I'm able to catch up on the comments, actually, and we're talking about something that's, current and relevant. I definitely want to check out some other places in Bangkok for good quality Western food. So I do want to check out some other places because I mean, again, Pala is good pizza, but it is ridiculously gourmet pizza. I want to get, and I actually did find a place that made really good pizza. If you guys know where On Nut is, and you'll probably know where this is, Dana. So where On Nut, the actual On Nut Street, not BTS, but On Nut and Sukhumvit, like right there, right? There is a set of stairs that simply go up and over Sukhumvit. It doesn't go to BTS, doesn't go to a walkway, but it's those stairs right there on the south side of On Nut, and about 2 shops in, so like about 10 feet in from the corner there. There is a new pizza, or there was a new pizza place. Last time that I went there, I think that they opened up, bad timing. They opened up in like January or something like that. And so I'm sure they went bankrupt in like 6 months. Anyway, it was called Siam Pizza. And it was a French guy and his Thai wife. She spoke pretty good English. He spoke great English with an accent, of course. But he loved pizza for like his whole life. And so loved Italy and loved pizza. And so so I went in there and I had a few slices of just like regular pepperoni pizza. It was excellent. And so I was so bummed when I think that they're closed. So they had really good pizza. I like to get those, like regular pizzas, right? Non-gourmet, let's just say. And so anyway, so I would love to be able to go back to that place or a place like that and have like another pizza. Because, I mean, there's no downside to having good pizza. I'm okay with not having the best pizza, but I like having good pizza. So anyway, hold on. Dana, are you oh, I know Todd is. Okay. Yeah. So I know Todd's able to post links on here. Good. Thanks for the link. I will ask my friend of immigration when I see him today. Oh, cool. That's good. Yeah. So Dana, it looks like my B visa is going to be coming in probably in about 2 weeks. So that'll be awesome. I gotta go over to BOI to pick it up, which of course is the stacks of paper, right? Tijuana is not safe at all. Like, even in the places where a lot of tourists go, where obviously they're going to be conscious of keeping it safe there because otherwise tourists won't go there. It's not safe. Tijuana is not safe. Trust me. Glad you liked the comment. Yeah, it was really cool, Rupert. Thank you very much, man. I really appreciate it. I've had it before, but I was just like, oh, this is totally cool. And I thought of you. So, thank you. It was cool. Love the street food in Tijuana. I agreed. I will say that right down the street from this place my buddies and I used to go to, they had really good street tacos. And if you don't know what a taco is in Mexico, a taco is like this. Like they're small. They're like 2 or 3 bites, and they're usually if they're in a high tourist area, they're about $1. Never trust pizza from French people. Yeah, no, I get that. Oh, this is really good pizza, dude. I'm telling you. If they ever open up again, I'm totally stoked to go there. I know a few burger spots I need to show you, one in On Nut and one in Phrom Phong. So I don't know if you ever had a visa? Jesus. I don't know if you've ever had a burger. And thank you for the 3 hearts on Facebook, by the way, guys. And I also, like, what did he say? I think there was like 16. What did Joseph report that we have as far as thumbs up? I'm trying to scroll up here and find his recent post, but I think it was like around 20. So thank you for the thumbs up there. And again, Joseph, thank you very much for the donations. I'm honored, man. That's really cool. At Arno, ARNO, it's basically the burger place in the Hyatt Regency, 2nd floor, right next to Coffee Club. That was a really good burger. But yeah, I love good burger spots too. So I'm totally stoked to go. But here's what's funny. Whenever Dana takes me somewhere and we eat, it ends up being like 2,000 baht. It's just like we went to a Mexican place and the Mexican food was good. I got to tell you right now. But the bill was like 2,198 baht as far as I remember. I know it was over 2,000. So I got to be careful how many times a month I go out to dinner with Dana. My Thai wife now wants a pepperoni bake. Good. Good. Take her to a good one. I don't know where you're living here, but I can tell you that if you don't know Pala, I want to thank Dana for introducing me to Pala. Pala is literally right underneath these stairs that go down from your walking from the Asok station of BTS. When you walk down and you take the escalator down to the Sukhumvit station, where basically the BTS and the MRT meet at Terminal 21. And so when you take those, there's a Dunkin' Donuts like immediately underneath the stands, and then right next to him is Pala Pizza. So that was really good. So take her there. But I will warn you, Billy, that you will end up spending 2,000 baht. So just important safety tip. Scuba Tom says, I came in late. Hope to be there early next year. Keep living the dream. I absolutely will, Scuba Tom. Thank you so much, dude. I actually referenced you several times because of the live streams that you've been doing from your amazing places down there in Mexico, where you're hanging out down there now. So thank you very much for coming by. Tajia says, we want Trump to build us a wall, 1.4 million people and 16 COVID dead. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what we need here. That's what we need to boost the economy, is a friggin' wall. And I know 2 pizza spots. One called Pizza Mania, but they only deliver. Fine. Oh, and not to us? Crap. And because Dana and I basically live in the same area, which is, you refer to this area as Lower Sukhumvit, right, Dana? Like, where does Lower Sukhumvit sort of start? Is it just like south of On Nut? Whoa, 10 pounds. Who's double clicking up? Rupert. Okay, fine. Penang curry. And just so you know, I wanted you guys to make sure that you see it. So you know that I'm about to spend, what is that? That's about 380 baht on Penang curry. I can do that all day long for 2 people, Rupert. So thank you very much, dude. I really appreciate it. That's totally excellent. I will do that, I promise. And I will update you guys when I do. And I'll try to remember to take a silly picture, for God's sake. I hung out with Rob for like 4 hours. Completely forgot to take a selfie with him. So I just forget this stuff when like I say, oh, hey, we're hanging in. Because he's a buddy, right? Not because I need publicity. But if they're already being allowed in, then they should not be an influx of them when they do open the borders. No, I agree. But again, they're harder to track. The majority of them will not have smartphones. And the phones that they have, it might be a burner, as they say. Obviously, in theory, you need to basically register your cell number. But speaking of tacos, soy cowboy, anyone? Bum. You see, ladies and gentlemen, that is why you need to watch Bangkok Strange, because Bangkok Strange, pizza. I want pizza. So Dana, as far as I'm concerned, pretty much the next live stream Bangkok Strange is doing is from a pizza place. So you need to determine where that should be. I can pretty much do a live stream here. There is a table of people over there. I believe the direction that I'm speaking is such that I can hear them because they're one of the people is speaking my direction, but it's quite soft. I believe I've got enough dampening that is basically occurring here from the foliage. And I believe that I'm far enough away where I'm not yelling at them. I've got enough, this microphone is good enough. This is the $6 microphone, by the way. A little bit of tweaking done, but it's not going through a compressor, I can tell you that. And you're like, yeah, Mike, that's painfully obvious. But just so you know, so the next Bangkok Strange live stream, which happens Tuesday mornings at 9 a.m. Bangkok time, it will be from a pizza place. Because Wednesday I actually leave for Suratani and down to Koh Phangan. Pizza. I want pizza. New York or Chicago. So I'm going to have to say New York / Boston. Dana and I have had this discussion where we basically believe that there is this band inside the United States where pretty much from like around the Boston area, pretty much down to like portions of Philadelphia, but certainly through New York City, New Jersey, that is the best pizza in the entire world. 2,000 for one meal. Oh, great. So now I got Dana's wife. Yeah. What's going to help you here, Dana? I paid. Will that help? And, but yeah, I can tell you right now, Chip, when we went to the Mexican place, our bill was well north of 2,000 baht. And I was like, oh my Buddha. That is it. Oh, mine sub. Thank you very much. Great channel, Mike. Keep being you. Best of the. Oh, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. We're starting to get money for the pizza. I think Live My Ass Off is about to fund a pizza live stream from Bangkok Strange. I love doing Bangkok Strange. It's fun. Let me not miss the. I want to do this. So Knit by Jib. If you guys have any interest, or you have, this is so chauvinistic, but at the end of the day, if you have any girlfriends that are basically interested in knitting, Knit by Jib is one of the most amazing. It's all in Thai, but I believe it probably has English subtitles, right, Jib? I know your pronunciation sucks, but I'm just saying, if you want any help with pronunciation of a foreign language, I'm your guy. Jib, by the way, is an expert at the Asian squat. And so if you've never seen a bunch of white guys doing an Asian squat and being made fun of, then you can go to the Bangkok Strange podcast and you can watch us doing a 6-minute video of white guys trying to do the Asian squat, instructed by Jib. So anyway, but yeah, ask Dana if he saved the receipt for the 2,000 baht Mexican food we had. They have pizza places in Bangkok. Yeah, they do actually. There's a lot. Again, you can get all the food. I mean, if you want to go, there's a Brazilian place, and that very Brazilian place, easily 3,000 baht for you and a guest to go there. But yeah, thanks, man. Penang curry, I love it. You guys are like totally awesome. And of course, getting the thumbs up, bam, from Billy. Very cool. I have no idea if it's lower single bit. By number, it's higher, but I guess geographically it's lower. No clue. I just call it the awesome area. Chest bump up top. How you doing? So just so you know, Dana and I basically live where they invented awesome sauce, as it turns out. I mean, they invented the hot sauce sriracha down in Sriracha, but they invented awesome sauce pretty much over here. If you either get off on the Bangkok or the Punawiti stop on BTS, then it won't be rain. It'll be awesome sauce. So, but luckily we've got some donations that came in today, so I can purchase some Thai food for you, so you won't be distracted by lousy pizza. New York pizza every day over Chicago. I would have to agree with that. I also, what are they? This Philly is Philly cheesesteak sandwiches, right? I don't believe those are good. Or no, wait a minute. I'm sorry. What is the sort of submarine sandwiches that Chicago is famous for? Is it beef? Is it? I can't remember. Yeah, those people that were sitting next to me, I didn't get any bad looks when they left, so I believe that I'm not adding too much of outdoor voice from this DJ. This DJ. When you get to Bangkok, we have to meet for pizza. So let me tell you something about Todd, Dana. When Todd comes to Thailand, I am definitely going to do a live stream with him. We should definitely get him on Bangkok Strange. He has gone through the whole process of getting the elite visa and getting the elite visa now during COVID, planning his trip over here, planning on going to Cambodia, getting the Cambodian e-visa. He is going to be an enormous benefit. So we definitely got to get him. We're hanging out with Todd when he gets here, just so you know. It's going to be the Dorman version of Bangkok Strange, ladies and gentlemen. And again, Minds Up, thank you very much. You guys, I really, really appreciate it. It's such an honor. And I got to tell you, too, I mean, again, you got to remember, take all of these numbers and multiply it basically by 30 for quick math. And, that's like yesterday, I got food for 3 nights, okay? And I got, okay, hold on. I want to make sure that no one's flooding my inbox with okay, so if you know Gotta Love Thailand, so Gotta Love Thailand from when he comes on here, which is also Dave. Dave makes his own pizza. So if you were to ask Dave, where's the best pizza in Bangkok? He's like, at my house in Surin. So if he's listening, thank you very much, Dave, for sharing that. Now I definitely want to go get pizza, and Dana and I may just basically grab his motorbike and shoot up to Surin. So, 2-3 hours from now, if you hear a knock on the door with, some really tall, fat white guys, make sure you have an extra pizza ready. So Rupert says, I listened to the whole Tony Huge podcast, used to watch his videos when I was into enhanced bodybuilding. Oh, Rupert, are you here in Bangkok? Rupert, we got to bring you on. I want to talk to somebody that, whether it was bad or good, we definitely want to, because we're going to have Tony back on the podcast too. But again, thank you very much for that, because one of the reasons that Tony wanted to come on the Bangkok Strange podcast is because, Dana definitely doesn't hold, he doesn't hold anything back. And of course we use foul language on there all the time. But the point is that Tony's like, look, I want to be challenged. I want people to ask me. And even during probably hour 3, Tony's sitting there and he and Dana are kind of having a debate about a certain topic. And Tony's like, wow, that's interesting. I really like you to change my mind on that. I mean, that's a very interesting statement for someone to make. Really, give me some more data. I'd like you to try and change my mind on that. I mean, he said it totally appropriately, not sarcastically. I mean, he's just a really good guy. So anyway, I would love to hear from someone who actually went through the process. Joseph, what do you got going on, dude? You're like $20 in today. Just relax. Thank you, dude. I mean, high five, chest bump, big hug, dude. E-hug, big time, Joseph. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so pizza party and mango smoothies on me. Okay, so awesome. So we got basically $10 for the Bangkok Strange pizza party happening Tuesday morning. I definitely have enough money. Joseph sent me $300. I could get like 3 smoothies from this place. So I definitely got money for the smoothie here. But Joseph, thank you so much. I will definitely use it for the Bangkok Strange pizza party. That is just, thank you very much. Yes, that's what I was thinking of. Italian beef was favorite in Chicago. And I had it a couple places and it was not good, dude. I don't know why, and this wasn't like Subway. I mean, I was really trying to find it at some very, the common or the sort of mom and pop, places in like local neighborhoods. But anyway, so Rupert, that's good. I want to shoot me an email so I have yours so we can communicate, or ping me on Facebook if we're on Facebook chat, or Line. My Line ID is Mike Shopping Mall, one word. But yeah, would love to hear more about that. No, it won't, because there are no pizza spots open. Oh, you know what, dude? Well, we just need to figure it out. Oh, maybe we do a later broadcast then, because as far as I'm concerned, the next Bangkok Strange live stream is happening over pizza. So, you're the host. I mean, I'm just the co-host. I'm just like basically throwing it out there, trying to manipulate your behavior based on my sarcasm. So with any luck, that will occur. After I meet up with Mike for a mango. Priorities, Todd. Priorities. Good for you, buddy. Busted. Tony Huge, absolutely. You got to love Tony Huge. Anthony Hughes. Now, Tony Huge is a cool guy. I almost pinged him in Pattaya when I was down there. And I thought, okay, I ping him. There's a high likelihood, because he's actually very normal, right? And he's a good guy. And I thought, well, that's cool. I'll hang out with Tony. But then I thought, it's not, the feelings were not heading towards the trajectory of, I like it here a little bit more this hour than I did last hour. It was going in the opposite direction. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave. Like I always say, I want to leave a place at minimum 1 hour before I don't like being there. And I knew that after doing my live stream with you guys, which again, thank you guys very much for that. Keeps me sane. I really appreciate it. It's great interacting with you guys. I love hanging out with you at the Cool Kids table. I knew after doing that, if I were to like take a little bit of a walk, and then the rain had stopped and it became sunny out, if I take a walk down to the bus station, then, I get on a bus, air conditioned bus. I get back home. I got home before 3 o'clock. I got home at 2 o'clock. Actually, the bus took 2 hours, basically from the from the Pattaya bus station right to the Udamsuk BTS. 2 hours, all in. Like literally, they left at 12 o'clock, and I walked off the bus at 2:01 p.m. Love Bangkok Strange. Well, good for you, Joseph. Thank you so much. Hey, Joseph, remind me, are you in the U.S.? If you are, dude, I'll even pay you for it. In fact, I will send you PayPal money, since I now have your PayPal address that you send me money with, if you buy some Bangkok Strange gear, like buy a Bangkok t-shirt or a mug or something like that. Because unfortunately, we ordered some here in Thailand. It's going to take like 3 weeks for the damn things to get here, even if we like ordered it from someone from the US and then had them FedEx it to us for like $50. I think Dana's paid $45 in shipping to get that stuff. But I would love someone to order one of those things and let us know how the quality is. Shop.bangkokstrange.com. But again, I will pay you, Joseph, to order that stuff. If you would do that, that would be so cool. And then send us a selfie from somewhere, from wherever you are. But if you're in Bangkok, well, shoot, dude, let's hang out. Because you're giving me way too much money to eat by myself. And I can't eat with Gracie. No, I'm kidding. I don't expect any sympathy for that. But yeah, do that, man. If you like Bangkok Strange, I would love for you to be engaged as part of it. Because we can't do Super Chat. We can do PayPal. We don't have our own channel, our PayPal channel. But we can't do Super Chat yet because we don't have 1,000 subs. And that's going to take a while to ramp up. But RM says, very much enjoy your channel. It's kind of a combo of travel, vlogging, and philosophy. Thank you, RM. I think that's a really great way of putting it. In fact, I am quoting you and copying and pasting this into my text box where I keep my notes as I'm vlogging, as I'm streaming. And I think that is basically going to be the tagline for Live My Ass Off. Mike, what's it about? Well, it's kind of a combo of travel, vlogging, and philosophy. Because a lot of times, like Grace, people ask, well, what is Mike's channel about? She goes, he talks a lot about gratitude. So, again, I got to wake up this morning and, everything after that, guys, come on. I got to wake up this morning and I got plenty of buddies that did not get that gift like yesterday. And through no fault of their own, Some of them had a great life and yesterday was a great day for them. And then at 93, they just didn't wake up. Okay. Some of them suffered. Some of them are right now. There's a man in my life that literally saved my life. I was like, Bill, I basically went from misery with a gun in my mouth to doing what Bill told me to do to the guy you see today that is like, are you kidding me? I get to do this. I get to sit at a coffee shop, hang out with you guys that, quite frankly, like it or not, you're becoming my friends. Chatting with a guy, Dana, who is absolutely my friend, who just started out as an acquaintance. Like, when did we first meet each other, Dana? Last November? Or no, wait a minute. If the Canadian Embassy is listening, we met like 2.5 years ago. But basically, the point is that so I'm like developing this friendship. This cool kids table is being designed by you guys, and like it's improving the quality of my life. And I sit here and I talk about stuff I love, which is basically the stuff that you guys seem to love, like pizza and travel and Crazy Dana and Tony Huge and Pattaya and gratitude. And you guys are giving me money to go do these things so I can share them with you. What lottery did I just win, you guys? What lottery did my soul just win? I mean, come on. I am the luckiest guy in the world. I have 0 problems today. 0. I only have opportunities. And that said, and Dave is the only guy that I know that makes a bitchin' pizza. I know guys that are chefs. I know guys that own restaurants. I know guys that own pizza ovens. They make good pizza. Dave makes them at home, and he's amazing. I gotta have some of that. Oh, cool. Thank you, DN. DN, living in Bangkok. So Dion, I assume, right? Awesome, buddy. Add and chat and aloha. There you go. That's how easy it is to add me online. Mike Shopping Mall, one word. You like Little Italy is open 24 hours a day. I think Little Italy is open 24 hours. And so you're talking about then we have to go there. We don't necessarily have to go there this Tuesday. And we don't absolutely have to do a live stream from a pizza place. But we should do a live stream somewhere outside. I mean, dude, don't get me wrong. Your studio is amazing. And arguably to lug all that gear outside, I know that's a pain in the ass. But I like doing these live streams outside. It's kind of cool. But, you know, you also don't have to twist my arm to like sit in basically a broadcast studio, or there's certainly a podcast studio. But yeah, my point is, I don't know where Little Italy is. I didn't even know there was a Little Italy in Thailand. And obviously I've never been. I've been to Chinatown. Chinatown here is actually very cool. I dig it. And I want to go there with someone who knows about the blowfish. You know how like you walk down Chinatown and there's like one shop after another? I'm sorry, shark fin. And I want to know about that. I want to know how to order it. Ideally, it would be someone who's Thai Chinese. That would be amazing. But yeah, if you're versed in Chinatown, Dana, please take me there, and please take Jib so she realizes that when I say we spend 2,000 baht on lunch, we do. Knit by Jib, by the way, guys. Knit by Jib. Add her on your sub list on YouTube. It was nice when the company buys 10 pizzas and send them to the TBM. The bank? Oh, I'm so sorry, Todd. I don't know what TBM stands for. I'm not cool. I am uncool.com right now, dude. I just totally registered that domain name and my picture's on the front homepage. Damn it. Sorry. But yes, it is nice. I've bought pizza for my guys before, and it's always kind of cool. Chicago style hot dog. Ah, okay. There you go. Predictive text and symbols reactivated. MedTech. High five. Good job, buddy. Was it a reboot? I'm curious, because the reason I asked that is because Caesar, who you know, guys, he comes to this channel quite a bit, and he's from here in Bangkok. Good, Dave. I'm glad you're watching because I really appreciate those pictures of your pizza. Tony is an attorney too. He is. Absolutely. He's a U.S. attorney. Thank you, buddy. You're great. Yeah, anytime Dana and I knock on the door, you're going to provide us with pizza, right? If we do a live stream. I hope Dave. Oh, wait a minute. Shoot, Dave. I completely spaced on watching your video. I've got to go to Dave's channel. Gotta love Thailand. Let's go over there at some point and watch his video. I'm an hour and 40 in, so I got plenty of time. Additionally, as you guys know, I'm ready for a smoothie, Joseph. I promise I'm going to commit to that and actually do it. All the while, Tony is open to conversation, and his girlfriend was open. Indeed, dude. Yeah, man, you got to talk about someone making love to me from behind. She was totally doing that to my head. I'm like, oh my God, what's EBB? EBB? I don't. Oh, are there posts that I'm not seeing because because YouTube's not passing them through me? I don't really know the reference to EBB. I apologize for that if I didn't say that. Worst pizza ever in Cleveland. Yeah, well, St. Louis, we had pretty good pizza in St. Louis, I will say. Speaking of Philly cheese, I went to Geno's 2 times. The first time I was great. The second time, not so much. Last time I went to Pat's, took my girl. This is in Bangkok, Todd? Let me know, dude. Oh, UK at the moment. Okay. I was just amateur when wanted just an amateur that wanted quick results. No. That's all right. 100% legal in the UK. Good for you. Good for you. You really? Cool, dude. Oh yeah. If you order, please, let us know if they're any good. Our strange here hasn't even gone to print yet. What are you talking about? I thought you basically just upload a logo and then the minute you push something, it prints. Or you're not using like a Teespring backend. Okay, well, I'll let Dana describe a little bit more to that because I apologize because what I certainly don't want to do, dude, is I know you would feel the same way. In Tampa. Oh, dude, I love Tampa. You know what's cool is actually, and here's the cool thing, Joseph. I may have chatted about this before. I kind of forget what happened yesterday because I slept since then. But is if I do come back to the United States, I will be in the West Coast of Florida because I have 2 businesses for one that are registered in St. Petersburg, and I've actually physically been to the offices that we pay to have in St. Petersburg, right there by. It's kind of like a harbor. There's no beach though. It's like all rocks and that sort of thing. But there's like a little park there. Anyway, that was where it is in St. Petersburg, right near the. And so I would likely fly into Tampa, if I was coming back there. So that would be really cool. We could hang out and take selfies of us in the strange gear that Dana is figuring out how to get to print very shortly. I learned to make pizza in the 80s at Francisco's in the North End. Dude. Okay, so if you just don't know what the North End means, that's the North End of Boston. And I would argue, Brian, that is probably the best Italian food in all of the United States and about 50% of Italy. I mean, the North End has sausages that have been simmering in tomato sauce since the 1800s, and they're amazing. I've never had a better Italian meal than the North End. It is fantastic. So good to see you, Brian. Glad you came by, bud. That's who you are, Dana. Oh, Scott, I'm so sorry that I missed that. I didn't know it was up there. Thanks for all the info. You can never have enough pizza. Yeah, there you go. See, Scott, you get me. There you go, buddy. That is fantastic. Wait, I was wrong. It has gone to print. So in other words, what are we doing, Dana? Are we doing like a warehouse full? Are we front loading it with 50 or 10 sort of items of each size and then it's available? Anyway, Scott, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And yes, that will be going for me to get some pizza. And Dorman and Brian doing the ultimate chest bump. Shekel Mike, have you ever had North Shore, Massachusetts roast beef sauce and cheese? Kelly's roast beef. Dana may have. I have I'll tell you right now, the only North Shore, Mass places I've been is Lynn. And as you probably know, that's Lynn, the city of sin. You never come out the way you went in. And the reason I would go to Lynn is because that's where the studios where WFNX was, 101.7. Phoenix Radio, Lynn, Boston. That was where I used to hang out on Sundays. My buddy used to do a show there on Sundays, so I used to go in the studio and hang out with him when I was, my mom had to drive me there, so I was probably 15 and a half. So yeah, I used to go up to the Phoenix Radio, WFNX. I don't even know if they have the same call letters. I know they've changed the format. They're not alternative anymore. They got a better signal, but yeah, so no, I have not. And I would like to do that. So Shecky, here's what's going to happen. I will copy and paste that into my notes. And when I go back to Boston the next time, I will make a point to go to Kelly's Roast Beef. So thanks. Or maybe you were asking me saying, Mike, have you ever been to Kelly's Roast Beef? Because boy, isn't that the lousiest food ever? And I'll go there. I'll be like, thanks, Shecky, I guess. Oh my God, I'm going to hurl. You're good people, Mike. Live by us, so the feeling is mutual. Yeah. Was that when I was having my gratitude attack a few minutes ago? It was, it was about 9 minutes ago. So thank you, Mr. Mitch. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Seriously. And Mr. Mitch, specifically to you. Laugh out loud. Is life good or what, dude? It is. I have a buddy in San Diego. His name's Tommy. And he just says this one simple phrase, and I totally get it. I bet you guys, this is why it's the cool kids table, because we like just get each other. So I'm going to throw this phrase out there, and I bet at least 90% of you get what I'm going to say when I say this. Life is so good. It's stupid good. It's stupid good, guys. Life is stupid good. So thanks, Tommy. I love Tommy. He's a great guy. 1144. What is that? Is that like pizza delivery? If 1144 is Pizza Hut, dude, I'm going to kill you. But okay, Brian, hit the like button. Thank you, Mind Sub. Look at you, dude. Money and chest bumps. Just, God, you guys are so cool. I really appreciate it. I hope I'm not ungrateful, but how will I identify whether I'm ungrateful? So again, my version of grateful is my version. It's how I feel grateful, and the way that I share it is the way that I share it. I can tell you right now that I have friends. I am pretty introverted. Sorry, I'm pretty extroverted. I was going to say I have many friends that are introverted because, of course, I worked in IT, where being sort of rambunctious and very extroverted. That's not the default setting for most people that do this for a living in a cubicle kind of thing, or not necessarily in a cubicle, but you know what I mean. Coders, they're usually introverted. And some of them are so introverted that you would never know that they're in a level of gratitude, because you'd be like, oh man, I would come in at the Mike, how you doing? Oh my God, I'm living the dream. I get to do this and this and this and this. And my girlfriend loves me and my parents respect me. And I think I'm really doing the best I can. I got this great friend, Dana. Oh my God, I know Mind Sub. MedTech's been with me forever. Brian is, oh my God, from Boston. He's been there. And all this gratitude. I have an unlimited, ever expanding, infinite size gratitude list that I could make just now. That's how I express it. And if I were to do all that, and then I would ask, let's say my friend Josh, for example, I would say, well, so how you doing? Are you grateful? And he'd be like, oh yeah, big time. I'm very grateful. And that's how he would talk about it. So I will throw this out there. When I'm grateful, I get the gifts. And when I get the gifts, I'm on the path. And when I'm on the path, I get grateful. Lather, rinse, repeat. That is the world's best, as far as I'm concerned, perpetual motion machine of awesome sauce that I have ever experienced. And I'm only halfway through, guys. I mean, I'm going to live to be 100, right? So, I mean, I'm 52. So, I'm gonna live to see me get uglier and fatter, as is Gracie. So buckle up, honey, because it's about as good as it gets for right now. Every year past this, I will get. I won't necessarily get fatter if I stop. If I stop eating what I eat, which is a lot of cookies. I shouldn't do that. I should eat mango smoothies. That's what I should do. I bet you're grateful, MedTech. I bet you're grateful. Little Italy is a restaurant in the soak. So it's one. So all of Little Italy is basically one restaurant in Bangkok. Okay. See, now that was my question. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe what's happening in Chinatown, I'm sure Dana will get to this in a second. Where am I? I'm at 12:05. Okay, so I'm only 10 minutes behind. So the next 10 minutes, I'll probably have an answer to this. But I thought it was. I thought like that was illegal. I thought like maybe blowfish are illegal too. I mean, I know no one's eating like whale anymore, right? But, oh my God, you're outside again. Watch out for the monsoon. So here's the other thing that I love about the Cool Kids table. We now have inside jokes. Like Hike will always tell you that if I'm out walking and Gracie's not with me, it's why. Because white people like to walk, right? That's the joke between like Gracie thing. And so I think Hike remembers that. Gracie always says, oh yeah, white people like to walk. And and then the other inside joke is now between Kevin and the channel, which is Kevin notifies me of upcoming monsoons that I need to pay attention to. Because the first time he said, Mike, there's a monsoon that's going to be rolling over in the next hour. I'm like, oh yeah, I should be good. I literally almost got blown over through a field in Lumpini Park And then while I was leaving, like literally 3 trees, like were basically just falling behind. Like I was walking down the street. I'm like walking down the street, and behind me, like the trees are like falling. And it's just like, you know, I'm like, oh my God. So now when Kevin says, hey, Mike, monsoon coming, I'm like, okay, done. Like I'm going to batten down. I'm going to have to like put plastic. Everything I own needs to be in a plastic bag. So yeah. So thank you for the heads up, Kevin. You are the meteorologist of the Cool Kids table. So you've just been appointed, my friend. So hopefully you take that responsibility seriously. Paramedic in Paradise. Didn't know about your post. Huge respect. Oh, didn't know about my past. Huge respect. Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's so yeah, there's a few videos I've done on that. Come around the end of May next year, I'll have another gratitude attack, and it will be significant. And it will be me. This is my plan. I mean, I take it one day at a time, but it'll be my plan to be 29 years clean and sober. Right now, I'm 28, and that's fine with me. If I never get to 29 and I have this level of happiness, I could die today. And I've had the best friggin' life anyone has ever had. My parents are acutely aware that I love them. Gracie knows that I would do pretty much anything for her, and many things for her family, and pretty much anything for her daughter, Reese. I don't want to, though. I don't even have, I mean, that is literally like, in other words, that is the one end down there. And I am way, way, way down the other end of like stuff that I'm okay with happening in my life. But if you think about the fact that like all of the stuff over there, right, on that end, on the left-hand side of like bad, worst thing ever could possibly be, worst thing possibly ever to happen to me would be, well, to suffer and then die. But if I were to die, like that's the last thing I want to do. Like literally the last. The first thing I want to do is what I'm doing right now, which is why I'm doing it right now. And so I get to do the most important thing that I want to do in my life today, based on what I can do. I can't blink my eyes, and I can't, no matter how much money I throw at it, I cannot fly Gracie over here and have her here with me right now. That can't occur. That is my biggest desire. In addition to being able to be alive and, you know, knowing where my next meal is going to come, right? And then having good health and safety and that sort of thing. But like, I get to do exactly what I want to do right now in this moment. I am absolutely honored, and I get to occupy the space that I'm in right now. I'm not stealing it from anybody. Ideally, I'm not impeding on anybody's quiet or their ability to chill out. I will note that the music has gone away. However, it's noontime on Sunday, so I'm guessing they're not closing, especially since they only open at like 7:30. I hope maybe they close at like 2 o'clock. If she comes over and tells me to leave, I will absolutely leave. And in fact, I just need to make sure. Okay, so she's walking out. If she closes the gate, then I'll know that I need to leave, and that will be okay because I can pretty much break all this stuff down. I don't have a whole lot of gear. But anyway, near Soyscala has a ton of shark fin restaurants, but it's a very unethical food. I agree, because apparently they just like chop that. It's kind of like eating, what is it? Elephant tusks. I mean, it would be almost kind of like that if you're really into elephants as you much are into sharks. You can have shark fin in Siam Square, same Soyscala. So both of you guys, are you guys like literally 10 meters from, like 5 meters from each other? Wait a minute. Are you guys literally? So here's what happens when they work at their office. They have desks, and the desks butt up against each other. And Dana's computer is on one side, and Jib's computer is on the other. So are you guys literally 1 meter from each other, and you're both watching my stream? Thank you, by the way. I hope you've thumbs upped. And just so you know, the minimum ante, to basically super chat is $75. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there. I mean, no requirement. TBM tunnel boring machine. Interesting. Okay, and you would buy all the guys for the nice. They would buy that would relative to his pizza comment. Got it. It's interesting, Todd. Cool Kids Table will ask you what's wrong. Well played. And what's the second question we'll ask, Hugh? How can we help? Right? Good job, dude. If I'm getting messages in the chat, sorry, fam. I'm on my phone, can't follow. Oh, okay. So you might not be. All good. Glad you're here though, Brian. I love seeing you here, dude. It's awesome. Just order a t-shirt 2X. Yeah, right. So it's not, so it's not Thai size. Trust me, they're US sizes. So actually, OCKT, cool kids table. Sorry about tech. That's what some of the guys are abbreviated as. When next in Jom Tien, try the Boathouse for pizza. Authentic. You know what's interesting about that? I was literally right next to the Boathouse, right? Because I was, of course, there on Amazon Cafe. I didn't realize they had pizza. I absolutely will. I do not know the next time I will be down to, yeah, stuck on it. Thank you very much. I don't know the next time I'll be down to Jom Tien. If I do go to Pattaya, I will definitely be going to Jom Tien because there's just more there. But again, the beach there isn't awesome. It's okay. I did like hanging out with a couple of new friends, actually, new buddies that I met when I went to a gathering on Friday evening. That was an awesome meeting. I totally dug it. In Philly, Gino's famous cheesesteak, and across the street is famous Pat's cheesesteak. Oh, good to know, dude. That's awesome. Hey, Mike, Dion here. Thanks for the two. Yeah, absolutely, dude. Would love to catch up with you, Dion. Let's totally schedule something. That would be awesome. All right, what does Dana say? Oh my God. Okay, so if you guys think I'm lying, like literally Dana is sitting there, his wife is like right in front of him. Dude. That's freaking awesome. Right on, Dana. This is why my pants aren't sewn. Is this the reason why I still have a goddamn hole in my pants? I'm grateful for my health. MedTech, dude, trust me. How do you know you're ungrateful? You're not. You're not ungrateful. You are grateful. You just came up with that. Because, dude, if you don't have your health, right, you're done. You know, I walk by these people, and the great thing about my life today, and trust me, it wasn't always this way, is I can see someone in like physical pain and not be grateful. I don't need that as a requirement. I don't need to see someone in pain to be able to invoke my gratitude for not being in physical pain. I don't need to see a guy without legs to be grateful I have legs. And I know that you take really good care of yourself, MedTech. And so, like, obviously you're grateful for your health or not obviously, sorry. I'm glad you acknowledge that you're grateful for your health. And again, dude, here's the thing. This whole cool kids table works because we're not all crazy at the same time. We're not all in a bad mood at the same time. We're not all ungrateful at the same time. And so to Hugh's point, MedTech, if you're not grateful, we would ask, what's wrong? How can we help? That's what we do here. So when you say North End, I think of Bova's. I do not know the name of that. No way, the North End has nothing on Providence Federal Hill. I will find anyone. Really? That's interesting. You see, here's the difference between Dana and I and why Bangkok Strange works. I'm a lover. He's a fighter. So I don't fight. I hug. I don't hit. I hug. Not a Saudi? He's not a Saudi. Dana is not a Saudi. Us on Revere Beach. Up Revere? You mean up Revere? Brian, you're going to meet me up Revere? I mean, listen, if your Z28's still in the shop, that's cool, Brian. You can just park this thing wherever you need to. But I'll see you up Revere. Severe Beach. Oh my God, am I that far behind on comments? Oh my God, guys. Let me see if I can get to these really quickly. I hate Springfield, Mass. Left for good Seattle now. Kevo. I was only out in Western Mass a couple of times, the majority of which was actually go to Amherst, you know, the University of Amherst, not Amherst College, but UMass Amherst. But for the most part, yeah, I didn't do that. I grew up in Lynn. That was my favorite radio station as a kid. Wasn't it awesome? I'm trying to remember the jocks on that station, but yeah, dude, it was so much better. I mean, again, in Lynn, it was amazing, the signal quality. But down on the South Shore, we didn't get 101.7 really good. So a lot of times I'd be listening to BCN, but compared to BCN, dude, FNX was killer. 101.7 Phoenix Radio, Lynn, Boston. I used to date a girl from Revere. That's a whole other story. But she loved Kelly's. I wasn't much of a fan, but as I recall, they had fried clam strips, which were okay. They had steamers. They probably had steamers if they were up Revere, Dana. Have you told Jib the full Revere girl story? Because she'll probably like just sit there and listen and go, because that's basically what happens when you describe a woman from Revere. My people landed at Lynn in 1631. Puritans. Very good, Thai Jet. That's cool. 1635, my people founded Hingham, Mass. Long before there was the U.S., right? Right, Thai Jet? Absolutely. Dana, yeah, it's in Revere. They have a few spots now. Saugus, Boston, Revere. I mean, whatever. No big whoop. Saugus. Wait, are you in Saugus? I'm over here in Revere. Setting system languages input Gboard text correction. Got it. Yeah, I use the Gboard too. I like that. It's a much better keyboard and it learns what you do. Yes, it's following what you're doing, but nonetheless. Pizza Hut's folding back home. Oh, really? Who owns that? Is that a Yum Brands? I think Yum Brands is KFC, Pizza Hut, Yum Donuts, right? Obviously. That's interesting. I can't remember, but wow, that's because, dude, the markup on pizza is insane. So, I mean, if you're selling pizza, if not, I mean, I'm surprised at that. I would think that they would have did a ton of delivery. They would have just been like, look, order one pizza, we'll give you 3 for free. Let's just like move inventory. Have a good day, evening. See you later. Dion, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for connecting with me. I'll stay in touch with you online, and we can plan a time to hang out and have some pizza. I can't remember. Are you one of the ones that likes pizza, or we can have a burger or something like that? Okay, so there's a new person that's walking in that doesn't look like the woman that walked out. That's eventually the owner. The gate is still not closed. All right, good. I think I'm still I'm allowed to stay here. I need to buy something. Okay, it's 2 hours. I feel good about this. So we're at 2 hours. I'm actually going to play my little break video that I did. Hold on. How far am I behind on comments? I am far behind on comments. So let me catch up on these, and then I will go get a smoothie, Joseph. Ever been to Kansas City? Go to that place, the Chicken Spidini. Good to know. I'd never been to Kansas City. I got a really good buddy that lives there, though. Have you been to Peter Welsh's gym? Here? No, I don't go to the gym. Can you tell? I do this for a living, basically, so I don't. Now, Dana may have. Garozo's curbside menu. Good to know, dude. I'll have to check that out. Nice. Lather, rinse, repeat. That is stupid good. See? There you go, buddy. Lather, rinse, repeat. Stupid good. See? Hashtag gets it. Welcome to the Cool Kids table, ladies and gentlemen. Led today by MedTech. And Mr. Mitch and Dana. Led today by Mr. Mitch. Followed up by Dana. No, it's the name of a restaurant in Bangkok. Okay, there you go. Legal in Bangkok. Got it. Yeah, the fins. Predictive text strip. Okay, got it. I see. They just had a big bust in Cali last week for people shipping shark fins and drugs to China. Interesting. Well, I mean, you gotta generate revenue somehow, right? I'm thankful and grateful for the time I have. Copy that, Joseph. I am right there with you. One of these days, we're gonna have to do a couple of things. One, gonna be a gratitude only stream, gratitude only live stream. That may happen this week, potentially right after I get to Koh Phangan, Jib, and the other one is going to be a tech stream, right? All we're going to do is talk about tech. I'm glad. Good. Laugh at Dana. Don't laugh with him. Just laugh at Dana, if you would. That would be great. Shipping to China, not from. American. Who, me? Yes, I'm American. I think it came from Mexico. Or do you mean the shark fins? Go from China or from Mexico to China. I can't remember. Just saw that. Read it was coming. Don't like, yeah, indeed. I completely agree with that. That's awesome, Mike. I haven't drank in 12 years. I used to drink 151 Bacardi rum straight. Dude, you are my freaking hero. And why would you never do flaming shots? So many of my buddies are like, oh, dude, we're going to get some 151 and we're going to do flaming shots. I'm like, dude, you know, if you're burning it, you're burning off the alcohol, right? I mean, dude. That's why there's a difference between alcoholics and drunks. Alcoholics go to meetings. I used to be a drunk. And, but good for you, Scott. Congratulations, dude. 12 years is freaking amazing. Freaking amazing. Good for you. Used to get my news from Family Guy. Above Pawtucket. That's awesome. But there hasn't been any new shows on. See, Todd? There you go. Hashtag gets it. Cool Kids Table. He just gets it. Yeah, I'm a quitter too, Scott. Yeah, absolutely. AA is for quitters, man. 31 up, 1 down. I got no use for that person. 31 million plus 3. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. How many smoothies later would that be? Correct. Good. Good to know. I thank you for the picture too, by the way. Wait, I'm not. Oh yeah, that's right. I guess I'm not online with Jib. Is it like Knit by Jib? Is it at Knit by Jib? Is that where I get all the updates, all the photos on Knit by Jib on your line? Yeah, it's a cool club, right? Yeah, I should next stream I do when we're talking about gratitude, I'll wear my shirt that has the triangle with the circle around it. And underneath it, it says the club, right? Which is kind of cool. It's got my name on that thing embroidered. My buddies from St. Louis gave that to me. Like right before I left. I lived there for about 18 months, got to know the community, right? And had a sponsor, went to meetings every day, kind of thing. And when I left to fly back to California, the guys got me this shirt. It's, Mickey on the side of it, right? And it's got, because that's what we call it there. That's what we call the anonymous group, the club. Dude, are you in the club? Yeah, I actually heard a lot of people in the business call it that too. A lot of people that are in. Heard of a movie that dying is an inevitability, but of loose ends. I forgot which movie. That'd be interesting to know which one. Sent to Death, but yeah. Wow, I'm that far behind? Oh, dude, I'm only, what are you talking about? 9 minutes behind. 9 minutes is a lifetime in radio, so I'm basically a lifetime behind. The love of my life works at a pizza place, but the pizza is horrible. I just kept going to stalk her and wear her down. Good move, man. Good for you. See, there's gratitude right there. She's probably like, you know what? Before Brian showed up, I thought we were going to go bankrupt because let's face it, our pizza is disgusting. But Brian's here. I'm actually kind of starting to like that guy. Mission accomplished. Good job, Brian. Way to persevere. International shark fin ban. Good to know. Thank you for sharing that, Todd. Thailand isn't on the list for shark fin being legal. Does it taste any good? I mean, as far as I know, like the way that like sharks, I mean, you can get shark, I get it, right? But I believe that you have to clean it very differently because and this could be myth, but I thought they basically urinate through their skin. In other words, they don't have like a urethra. Oh my God. What are you kidding me? Brian, come on, buddy. Dude, thank you very much. Go get your shine box. Absolutely, dude. I'm going to totally grab one of those. That'll be wicked pissa. You're cool, Brian. Thank you so much. Brian was the, I want to say he's the first person to PayPal me. And I think Nico Greco is the first person to super chat me. So anyway, thank you very much. So Brian, I'm guessing you'd never got your postcard. Just so you know, when you sent me that first thing, the first donation, I sent you a postcard from Bangkok. So that kind of gives you an idea of how well mail from Thailand is going. I've sent like 7 postcards since then to my folks. They still don't get them. And they used to take less than 2 weeks. Urgh. Totally lame, right? I kind of want to knit by Jib right now. I mean, I don't know why, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Absolutely, Brian. I completely agree, dude. You gotta stalk the girl who works at the pizza place. If I miss your comments, guys, I'm sorry because I'm trying to get through them so that I can take a break so that I can buy a Joseph Bryan smoothie. Get my Bangkok Strange t-shirt September 22nd. Oh, Joseph, thank you very much. That's really cool. I'm pretty sure it's legal here. In fact, I think Thailand exports a great deal as well. Interesting. Yeah, Joseph, thank you very much, buddy. We really appreciate that. That's totally cool. You got to make sure you take a picture of that and send it to us when you get it. I meant Kelly's on Revere Beach. You get yours before. Oh, yeah, Dana, I'm sure. And you order, what did we order, Dana? You only ordered mugs for us, right? Love the colors red, black. Oh, cool. Thanks. Yeah, no, Dana did a great job with that. It's just simple, but I think it's going to work out pretty good. I think it's neat, and obviously it's large enough such that no matter where you put the logo, people from a distance ideally will be able to. Oh, Dana, we got to work on basically. Oh no, we need 100 subs, guys. If you have not subscribed yet to YouTube, our YouTube channel for Bangkok Strange Podcast, do me a favor and go over there. Here's the reason: is that once we get 100 subs, we can basically get YouTube.com/Bangkok Strange. We can't now; it's that massive hash, so it makes it significantly more difficult to share it. And I would really like to be able to do that. We do have a branded channel, but it's not with the vanity URL that we need 100 subs for. So if you would, I would really appreciate it if you go to Bangkok Strange and punch that like button. Absolutely, Mind Sub. You're my man. How you doing? That's great. You mean story of his ex-girlfriend? Oh, from Revere. The girl from Revere. And just so you know, Jib, the way you pronounce Revere is Revere. And if you don't pronounce it that way, then, obviously English isn't your first language, like the kid. Do you know who O&A was, who the owner and operator was. Is that what you mean? Chip says to have an amazing day. Got to rest. It's been hot in San Diego. I heard it was like over 100 in San Diego, which at the coast, that's pretty rare. Yeah, Yum owns Pizza Hut. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's right. Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, KFC, right? Aren't those Yum brands? Oh, Carl, good to see you, man. Thanks a lot. It's good to see you coming by here. I know the time is a bit odd that I'm still streaming. Usually I don't go past 12:30, but glad to have you along for the ride. Shark fins illegal in China, so it's possible that they're going there, but they're illegal too, says Todd. You're from Pawtucket, right down the street from where the Griffins live. Oh, Peter. Partial ban in Mexico. Partial? Kind of like prostitution is partially banned in Mexico. Yeah, right. Uh-huh. Don't know the owner and operator. Whoa, sorry. Mike, real talk. Congratulations on your sobriety. Thank you, mine. Sub. I appreciate it. Yeah, you're still alive. Why? I love it. Yeah, well, believe me, there's a phrase in our text, which is we are not a glum lot. And I got to tell you, dude, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, I can do this sobriety thing forever. We are not a glum lot. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate your attendance. I am honored by your donations. Thank you so much. That is just really, really, it's just amazing to me that you guys, I know what it takes to earn $10. You basically have to earn $20 worth of stuff. So I know that it's not, thank you. Any of you, Brian, most recently. Thank you guys very much. Persistence overcomes resistance. Nice work. Is that how you got jib, Dana? You were like, oh, dude, I am going to learn how to knit. And this chick, she's going to be all over me. Like all your buddies were like, so Brian, why'd you go from being a prize fighter to a friggin' yarn crocheting, tall, bald guy? Well, there's this girl named Jib, and she likes to sew. She's got this YouTube channel, and the only way I think I'm going to basically get 5 minutes with her is if I learn how to crochet. But you persevered, and now you have the coolest marriage in Bangkok. Just woke up. Was a long night in Pattaya. Sure it was, hashtag. Good for you, buddy. Glad you're here. Thanks a lot for coming by. Shirts, mugs, and stickers. Oh, my God, dude. We're going to have swag up the ying. That's going to be awesome. Yeah, and Aztec obviously cruises over to the Bangkok Strange podcast, which we really appreciate. So thanks, Scott, being here. Great show, Mike and Dana. Great. Thank you, Aztec. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to get as many people to subscribe as possible. All we got to do is get to 100 at this point, and then we can be a lot more branded. From there, it'll obviously be the next jump will be to 1,000, which will then allow us to do some super chat. But again, super chat, as we all know, I mean, that is easy and convenient, as you guys have done. And thank you again very much for doing so here inside of the chat, but it also takes the most percentage. So obviously, I guess we'll need to work on that, huh, Dana? We can do a PayPal. I mean, I have one attached to my Thai bank account here. It's just, I think it's like if you email ThaiMikes@gmail, I believe that's going into my Casacorn. So if you want to do it in here, or if you've got one that you want to do for the business, whatever's easier. Stuck says, as shark deteriorates, the urea in their blood immediately begins to break down into ammonia. That's what I've heard, which then gets absorbed into the flesh and expelled through the skin. That's why you have to clean it quick. Got it. Thank you very much for that, Stuck. I really appreciate that, because I don't, the little rumors and stuff that I hear, obviously not being a shark fisherman, let alone a fisherman. I mean, I'm from New England. So usually when people ask me like, hey, did you like sushi when you were growing up? And I'm like, no, I'm from New England. We cook our fish. But also I would purchase. I never fished. I was not a good fisher. And Gracie wants to go fishing, and I absolutely am excited to take her fishing. So if any of you guys have any recommendations on like day trips or something like that around here or anywhere in Thailand for that matter, I certainly don't mind getting on a plane and taking a bus and then taking a boat over to an island to then get on a day trip to take Gracie fishing. That would be amazing. Also, as always, guys, thank you so much, Mr. Mitch. I really appreciated that. On behalf of Dana and I and Bangkok Strains, we really appreciate that. We're going to get to 100 pretty quickly here. I anticipate in less than a couple of weeks we'll get to 100. We'll be able to have a really good, a lot easier branding time of it once that happens. And then it's on to Super Chat, buddy. Look at that. Throws the love around. Hashtag. You two being radio guys and don't know owner and operator? What do you mean? of a station. Is there a station you're referring to? I apologize. Maybe I'm really delayed that bad, but I thought that's what you meant by owner and operator. Do you want to make an appointment with Nong Earth to get measured for your shirts? Yes, I do. Yeah, I do. And in fact, I could pretty much do it anytime today. Like after this, obviously I got to like break down and cruise home. So, you know, if you tell me with basically depending upon where he lives, I mean, if he lives over near us, then I can obviously get there in less than an hour. If I need to go like over to, you know, if he lives at, I don't know, Chatuchak or something like that, I'm going to need 2 hours. But yes, the short answer is I do. I want to get measured, and I will bring him the fabric that you provided me, that are going to be basically part of the beginning of Strange Shirts. Although I think there's probably a better name than just Strange. I mean, I did like Foul Fashion. I thought that was kind of a cool name for the shirts, but yeah, set that up and just let me know. Again, at the end of the day, if you just give me 2 hours notice, I can pretty much get anywhere anywhere in Thailand, anywhere in Bangkok. Rick, who's also my buddy from Pattaya, he was down there. I saw him Friday at some point. I think I saw him Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? Yeah, it was Friday. Pattaya's traffic jams this weekend with the Thai holiday Bangkok people, and then we'll be very quiet without the Bangkok people. Yeah, that's interesting. So I left Rick I took the noon bus out of Pattaya. So I guess I probably got there before the majority of the Thais that were coming from Bangkok came down, and I also kind of anticipated that. But yeah, I figured that the traffic would be like on its way there, not necessarily like on Beach Road or Second Road or something like that. But there you go, Opie and Anthony. I say owner operator. Someone else, as soon as I'm in Thailand, mate. Absolutely, dude. Good for you. Jib just said she will do a live stream with you where she teaches you how to knit. That will be a 95-hour live stream because I have zero skills on that. Although, you know what I would actually like to do? I would really like to learn how to sew using a machine. Like, I don't know how to do, I don't know what, I mean, I know like the pieces of it, like the bobbin and you know, but I don't know how to like do that. Like, I don't know. It seems like you guys just sit down, you throw the fabric in, you push a button, and then the sewing just starts. And I'm sure it's not that, right? And then how do you end it? Because I mean, it's got the whole thing like do you just pull it out and cut? I would love to learn how to do that. With a machine. Learning to knit by hand is not exactly $3.99 in shipping. Okay, thank you very much for letting us know that. I really appreciate that. I wasn't sure like what the shipping was in the US. So that's reasonable. That's very reasonable. Todd, once again, thanks for all the info. Yeah, no, isn't he great about that, Brian? I'm really stoked. He like shares a ton of relevant information with me, and ideally I try and pass that on. But he also shares it with Jeremy too, and Jeremy's really great about doing that. Cost me 10 times that to ship from. Yeah, exactly. What was it, like $45 in shipping, Dana? Hey, Caesar, good to see you. We need to chat data can Samsung bashing. No, actually, Samsung's one of the best companies in the world, and their shim, if you will, i.e. the technology they have between the average sort of Google Play Store and their OS, their version of Android is actually very slim and lightweight, and it works out pretty well. So trust me, if you had like a Huawei phone, you'd hate that more. Bashing the crashing, very good. I did see your reply about Plan A scrapping. Have fun heading next door. All the same, mate. Still envy you. Opie and Anthony. No. Owner operator. That's the way I talk about it in radio, because that is no, I know I'm joking, but that's the way I said it. Owner operator. Today probably can't, but tomorrow, if you're free, we can try and set it up. Stand by. Let me check my calendar right now. Okay, so basically I'm free before 10, which I'm sure he's not if he's Thai. I am definitely free anytime after 1:30, and I will be in the Ekamai area until about 1:10. So I can definitely get to BTS Ekamai by 1:15. So anytime after that. And then the easiest thing to do is to basically just either send me a message online or put a calendar invite in my calendar or something like that. But thank you, Dana. I really appreciate that. I'm really excited. Basically, what this guy is going to do is he's going to take a whole bunch of like excess fabric, like basically what you would throw away, remnants or something like this. I guess maybe remnants are in carpet, not in but that Dana and Jib had, and so I have like this bag of like basically pieces and ideally this guy, because he's amazing, I've seen some of his shirt designs, he's going to sew all of those together and make me 2 shirts ideally. I don't know if I was looking at it, guys, the other day, and I don't know if there's enough fabric for 2 shirts. I think it only might be 1 shirt. Got me a beach spot booked for November for Koh Phangan, unless something happens between now and then. That is my plan A. Still good for you. And by that, just so you know, he means Cambodia. So good for you, Todd. Free canceling before end of October. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I had a flight that obviously a reservation I made a while ago, but it was back when Delta was only being mildly flexible. So while I got the majority of my money back, I still had to pay $300 to Delta to cancel my flight back to Boston in August. And you got to love this, right? So not only did they ding me $300, additionally, my flight was basically going to be Bangkok, Doha, Boston. Okay. And so they reroute me, and this is like 3 months ahead. They reroute me Bangkok, Doha, New York City. I'm like, exactly how do you expect me to get from New York City to Boston? Like, clearly on my dime. Like, how are you getting me to my destination? How are you providing me with a service, which is what I paid for? And I'm like, okay, well, you've got no integrity, so I'm never flying you again. And, until you get your act together, believe me, I'm going to vote with my wallet. And as far as I'm concerned, Delta is off my list, which is too bad, because they were actually one of the top American carriers that I actually believed at least 51% of the time. For the most part, I don't. I think all American carriers. Southwest is okay. JetBlue has fairly decent customer service, but at the end of the day, they're all basically incompetent compared to the Asian carriers. That's for sure. I can definitely teach you how to sew. I have a machine or 2. So Dana has 10 industrial sewing machines in his living room, and it's not like the standard. Like, in other words, it's not next to the piano and the love seat. It is basically his living room is a sewing machine factory. So all good here. May trust you are well. So cool. You guys saying hi to each other. Thank you so much. It's really good. Knitting is stress relief. Well, I would imagine. Yeah. So Mom, so here's the deal. So I've met this guy named Dana. I'm going to marry him, but fear not. I actually knit. So trust me, I won't get through the crazy stress, because he's a little crazy. He's basically a boxer, but he's trying to like impress me and, basically get on my good side by telling me he knits. So that'll never happen, Mom. Don't worry about it. Like, maybe in the entire lifetime of our marriage, maybe we'll own 1 sewing machine. It's not like he's going to go overboard. I'm sure that was the discussion that you had with your mom when you told her all about. Best company. My blood runs cold. I have to wait until September 25th, to get your. Oh, okay. So, but you're going to get it fixed at the embassy, and again, just so you know, he's talking about his elite visa from Thailand. You're going to get that affixed in Phnom Penh, I assume. You have never had a glitch with a smartphone? Of course I have. It's hardware that runs software. That's the word. The word glitch was invented on that premise, that there is software that runs on top of hardware. Got to run to Ekamai for a 2 p.m. chat soon. Good for you, Dana. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much for coming by. Stoked to hang out with you. And let me know if tomorrow, Monday, we are doing a Bangkok Strange podcast recording, or if you want to just do that and the live stream on Tuesday. I'm totally cool with that. You're awesome, buddy. Damo, good to see you. And I'm really excited that I call you Damo, because like you and all your Australian buddies give me crap because apparently I'm supposed to pronounce it Damo. No, it's Damo, because I don't have an accent. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for coming by. Grab that white shirt that you had on the train. Yeah, well, Joseph, I threw that away. I washed it twice, and I still couldn't get basically the dirt stains out of it. So yeah, absolutely. That was that kind of try. I now need a new a decent quality white shirt. Okay, everyone, I got to get out and get up early. F1 racing. That's right. I forgot about that. Todd, thank you so much for coming by, dude. Stoked for all the information. Thank you very much. Thank you for your participation, and thank you for coming by the chat. It's just outstanding to have you here. You guys are all kicking it. Oh, we still got 21 people watching it. Unless if we had like 15 still, I'd be like, okay, well, I'm outliving my welcome. I hope Jib is still watching. I hope she's not like, oh my God, Dana's gonna go. I can't watch Mike because he's just way too entertaining. Dana's gonna get jealous because Mike is just such a high quality vlogger compared to him. But I love him. He's my husband and he knows how to sew now. I get it. No, I'm sure we lost. There we go. See, from 21 down to 20, we just lost knitting by Jib. damn it. Doing that. Oh, that's right. You're getting it. Okay, yeah, you're getting it fixed in New York City. Thank you for that. Sorry if I got the dates and the times wrong. Yeah, he's a good guy. He's totally a good guy. All right, guys, here's what I'm going to do. First thing, I'm going to obviously try and make sure that I can still be here. I believe I can be here till like 7 tonight, but I'm going to take some of your money, and go get a mango smoothie. I'm going to order it because my video that I'm going to play is only about 4 minutes long. And so I don't believe that, I'm going to be able to go over there and stand there for 4 minutes and get my video played. So let me just see here. This is my video, and that's my photo. I want my video. Let me do this, and then let me pause it. I hope it's going to stream okay. A lot of times when I play things from Google Photos, it really doesn't stream well. And in fact, it is not right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stream it from Dropbox. And because Dropbox seems to stream video fairly well without a whole lot of jitter, which is awesome. And so that's cool. So I'm going to take a break and I'm going to play this video. And if it doesn't play perfectly, I apologize for that. But I do need to take a break. And I need to see, there you go. Bam. She's done. She's done with me. Shit. I lost another viewer. Gosh darn it. So anyway, so I'm going to do this and then I'm going to go order some stuff. I will be back. I will actually watch the stream on this just in case the video starts ending and I'm like halfway across the compound. So I'll know what's playing. And let me just... So I'm going to do this and then I'm going to go... So there you go. Thanks for the stream, Mike. Get some sleep. It's been a long day. I bet it's been a long day. What is it? What time is it right now, dude? It's like 4 a.m. back east. So absolutely. I honor you for sticking around, dude. I really appreciate that. That is not a requirement. So it's an honor to have you here, buddy. So let me do Chrome tab, and then let me do this. Let me share audio, and let me do this. And I believe this will work. I believe that means you guys have the video. Whoops. I believe you guys have the video. Let me just verify that in StreamYard. You do. So let me do this, and then I will play this for you guys and be back shortly. Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike from livemyassoff.com. Hope you're well. I'm here. I will be back. I will actually. Rian, Choen Coffee and Cozy. It's this cool little coffee place, pretty much right down the street from my condo. My condo building is not one of those, but it's behind one of those. So it takes me about 5 or 10 minutes to walk here. And I was actually, I've been here a few other times, and I really dig it. And so what I'm anticipating that you will be watching this during a break that I'm going to be doing from in here. And I kind of wanted to just show you basically where I'm hanging out in here so you have an idea of what's around here and why I really like this place. So when you enter it, and I know this is a little bit shaky, I just wanted to do a temporary one, or a quick one rather, before I came in. And, oh, they used to have no more koi. They used to have koi fish in here. But I'm sure they were closed for several months, and so therefore they probably couldn't take care of it. But this place is great. Each sort of place that you would sit, for the most part, has its own covering. Ooh, slippery bricks. Has its own covering, has its own lights. Usually they'll have a fan there, and usually they'll have an outlet. And I'll show you exactly where I'm set up, and why I like that, and also why I'm set up where I'm at. The Wi-Fi here is really great. And they have these individual, well, the whole place is underneath a roof, which is awesome. But as you can see, I mean, they have like chillers basically for every, oh, maybe this is where they put the koi. Oh my God. Oh, this is fantastic. Guys, this was not here the last time I was here. This looks awesome. This is so much bigger. And what was neat is when I was here and the woman was sharing with me how they have set this place up. I don't know if you can see this in my camera, but when she was sharing how they set this place up, that sort of like little stream that was basically all dirt over there that I just showed you. This is where they were initially. And so they hadn't built this yet. And so now she's transitioning them here. And I said, oh, cool. How long are these? And she says, I've owned these, if you will. I've had these koi fish since they were, I don't know if you can see that, but basically since they were about that long. So she's moved them over to here. So that's really cool. I also wasn't aware that it had kind of like a second story, like a little place up there, but it doesn't look like they have. Chairs. But it's really, really comfortable. There's outlets everywhere if you need to like charge your laptop. I see that they do have the chillers in those areas right there and underneath umbrellas, but they're pointing to tables and here. But this is sort of the paradigm that I really like. You've got some chairs, but you get a fan and you get an outlet and you can charge. And again, the Wi-Fi is really good. They make a point, obviously, that even if there is some overhang and there's a possibility that you might get wet from some rain, that they give you the ability to basically pretty much sit everywhere and stay dry. So this could be another actually solution for me to stay. I really like the fans when they're up like that. But as you can see, it comes with some outlets, and obviously when it gets dark, you can turn on the lights. What I got going on is basically, yes, I definitely have the fan plugged in because it's hot, but I also have my laptop charging over there. And that's pretty much where I'm streaming from right now, if you are watching. And I'm down here because I'm basically away from the music. So hopefully I won't get any sort of silly copyright infringement. I'm also fairly close to the road that's out there from the parking lot, but I'm pretty much shielded from other people. So basically what I'm doing is I'm talking this way. So with any luck, I'm not bothering anybody because I want to be able to talk with you guys. And a lot of times, even indoors, all I have is an outdoor voice. So anyway, I just wanted to show you this. If you guys ever end up like coming to Bangkok and you're ever down here in an area that a lot of us will refer to as Lower Sukhumvit, I highly recommend you come here. I know I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but for the sake of argument, it's Hon Chien Rai Coffee and Cozy. It's basically in the Bang Na area, and it's very easy to find on Google Maps. You just type in basically coffee shops and then look around like Sukhumvit 100. You'll be able to come down here, or just let me know. Anyway, with that, it's Mike from livemyassoff.com saying I hope you're living the dream, because if you are not living the dream, there's a high likelihood you've never been to a really cool coffee place like this. And I hope we can hang out here sometime. Talk to you soon. Ciao. Hopefully that worked. I think it paused in the middle of it. I'm not totally sure. Let me just make sure that this transitions. I got my smoothie, and then I got to wait for this thing to vibrate and like beep, and then I'll go over and get it. So let me just make sure the audio is going through there. Hopefully that worked. I think it paused in the middle of it. All right, cool. So I know that I'm on the air. There are some folks behind me, so if I do start talking too loud, I'm bothering them, and they seem bothered, then I may just quiet this anyway. But the way it works is you get, let me see, they don't have the name of the place on it, unfortunately, but basically you get this little thing, and naturally, of course, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm a, yeah. So that's coming, but they didn't have mango and didn't have banana. So I'm getting a strawberry smoothie, which I'm very excited about, actually, because I have not had one of those in a while. You know what I also really like is fresh watermelon juice. Ooh, can you hear it? Can you hear it? Probably not. This isn't a very good microphone. But it was cool. Actually, I saw Brian saying, "Hey guys, here's my email address. If you're in New York City, let's go hang out." And that's really cool. I also realized that a bunch of you guys you need to get some sleep at some point. So I understand that. With the exception of Aztec, and of course he's back in he's in Australia, so he's only about 3 hours ahead of me, or maybe you're only 1 hour ahead. I can't remember, Aztec. Are you in Perth or Sydney? But anyway, so far away. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. and you're starting your day at 5 a.m. Yeah, dude, you gotta get I need my beauty sleep, and clearly I don't get enough of it, but yeah, I get that. We have them buzzards at place. I see. Yes. Yeah, this it seems like a pretty good way to do it, because in that way they don't need to like leave the area and come and bring it to me. I did not walk over there with my mask on. I felt a little bad about that, but for the most part, like once you're at a restaurant, you kind of just like take off your mask. So I'm like, okay, that's no big deal. So I'm going to hop up again, and I don't have a second break because I didn't anticipate doing it this way. I completely missed that. You're in Perth, right? So so if I when this does, so it's actually, there we go. So I need to go get my smoothie. So you guys are basically just going to need to hang out. And, oh, you can watch me walk away if you want. I'll do that. Hold on, let me see if I can do this. And then change. Just going to give you guys a little, yes, I'm coming. I'll give you guys a little, so you can see where I'm going. There you go. Okay, I'll be right back. Stand by. I think I did that right. Hold on. If I didn't do that, I didn't want you to just look at my, yeah. Let me, good. I'll be right back. Okay. I'm back. Greetings. All right, so they're kind of starting to fill up, and look at this. So I bet Jib knows how to make one of these coasters. Hopefully she'll teach me how to do that. Hopefully Brian will teach me. That's Brian. Hopefully Dana will teach me how to do that. But anyway, oh my goodness. I got a strawberry smoothie, and it's excellent. And I can tell it's like real strawberries. That's the other thing I love about China, about Thailand. I come over here, I really notice and appreciate the quality of the fruit and vegetables compared to back home. I mean, a tomato tastes like a tomato. There's no taste really to the ones back home. It's kind of frustrating. And of course, you don't realize it until you go, I didn't realize it until I went elsewhere. Just put this away. So they considered sitting like right over there, but then I think maybe they saw me doing what I'm doing. Again, I don't really think I'm talking that loud, but I do without knowing it. So anyway, I'm going to be conscious of that. And it's nice and quiet here, so I know that I'm potentially breaking that. But that's it. That's good to hear that they're laughing over there. And if they're laughing at me, that's fine too. But at least they're enjoying each other. And to be fair, like if I was sitting here, talking with you and you were sitting right next to me, I would be talking in this voice or a louder one. So it's not like I'm doing anything that's like particularly odd. Anyway, Demo, good to see you. Glad you came by, man. And yeah, night shift. That's late, right? I used to do that. I mean, overnights, right? Midnight to 6 a.m. on the radio. You just need 4 hours and you're good. I can do that for a while, not for a long time. Hey, David, thank you so much for coming by, sir. I really appreciate it. And good morning, Mariano from Germany. Yeah, I know it's early morning there. 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock here in Thailand, of course. I'm gonna try and do like the morning streams here, and then also like throughout the week, right? Like a morning stream, and then an afternoon, actually evening stream, like 6 or 7 p.m. so that I get the UK, Europe guys in there. Because that's great. And just so you know, guys, this tastes a lot better because of the donations. This is your smoothie, and I really, really, really appreciate it. And now, oh God, I hope did I not copy and paste? One of the guys told me to get curry. Okay, good, curry. Hold on. Rupert, right? Yeah. I may do that tonight. Actually, I have curry. I bought pork and chicken curry last night. So thank you very much. I will eat that this evening with some sticky rice. Who's living the dream now? Boom. So that's the challenge for me, is I come over here and I find these things, or it's a challenge for me. I come over here and I find these things that I really appreciate. The taste of food, the taste of vegetables, that kind of thing. Just a lot of stuff, right? And I'm more than okay with the fact that people are like, oh, well, you just have got rose-colored glasses, blah blah blah. You're a newbie. It's not going to last. Okay, whatever. That's what a lot of people told me about sobriety. So 28 years later, I'm like, no, trust me, it's the best thing I've ever done in my entire life. Sometimes there's a statement called pink cloud, and a lot of people will label you if you're in too good of a mood too often. They will label you and say, oh, you're just on a pink cloud. Aztec super sticker. Thank you so much, dude. Well, hold on. This was 80 baht, right? So here's 30 baht of it. Thank you so much. All of you guys participate in the bucket of awesome sauce. And this is the result. Now, to be fair, it's not like I can't get a strawberry smoothie in the United States. And 80 baht, how much is 80 baht right now as of today? $2.55. For about $2.55, I might be able to get one. I might be able to get a smoothie in the US, maybe. Depends where I am. In San Diego? No. I mean, even at Jamba Juice, I can't get one that cheap. All right, hold on. Brian, thank you so much, dude. Thank you for the smoothie portion. I really appreciate it. Buzzed enough and have to watch Portland riots before. Yeah, absolutely. You got a cup. Oh boy, I really feel for that. I hope that's not happening where you are in New York, buddy. But anyway, thank you very much for coming by, Brian. It's always good to see you. Can't wait to hang out in Chiang Mai eventually. Right? Find any lucky strikes? Okay, you know what? Okay, I go to 7-Eleven so regularly. I'm gonna double click on some LSMFT the next time I'm there. How's that? I promise I will ask and see if they have them. And if they do, I will take a picture and I will have it at the ready for the next time that you join the. And again, as always, Joseph, thank you for buying me a smoothie, quite literally. But no, I haven't found any yet. Let's see what David sent me. So my buddy David, who's on Koh Phangan, he just sent me a picture of where he was hiking today. Looks. Oh, that's kind of cool. I mean, obviously, this is just me showing you on my phone, so it's not awesome. But yeah, some of the trails that he's been hiking out on Koh Phangan, that's awesome, man. But he was the one who was telling me that, like, hey, there's these beachfront bungalows that are normally $25,000 a month for $5,000 a month. And of course, as you know, in San Diego, we have a word for beachfront bungalows that cost 5,000 baht per month, which, doing a quick calculation, is $160 a month for 1 month at a beachfront bungalow. For $160 a month, that word is free. That's free. Aztec, I get it. You have to collect stickers like a competition to get my smoothie. So it's basically like the stickers that I collect from 7-Eleven. They're 1 baht each. And then I stick them. So that's cool. All right. Well, how many do I need? How many stickers do I need? You think? No more 3. Right? You've definitely given me more than 3 stickers, dude. My God, you guys are Ridiculously generous. Yeah, exactly. Peaceful protests in Oregon, in Portland. Portland peaceful protests. The triple P that's going on up there, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so it's 1:15. And I'm actually feeling pretty good about this broadcast. This was fun. This was really cool. But the problem is I'm mildly distracted by the folks that are around me, that I may be bothering them. And I don't want to do that. I definitely don't want to overstay my welcome here, because I do want to come back and I want to do this the next time I come back here. So, oh, Rupert, dude, you're amazing. You're giving me like super sticker money, and you're also giving me curry money. Remind me, Rupert, what kind of curry did you say? Because I bought some chicken curry. I may already have, but you want to make sure that I do the right thing, as is said. And again, thank you very much. I really appreciate your contribution, man. I'm honored. Jamba Juice, using fruits from all over the world. Local shops like Lanikai Juice in Hawaii, using only local fruits. I prefer that. Support your local heroes. I will tell you, Mariana, that one of the best mango smoothies I ever had was in Maui, for sure. Over on, where was it near? I'm trying to remember now. I think it was Kihei. I think it was like the little shop there in Kihei. Trying to remember, but Penang. Thank you. I did not buy Penang curry, so I'm going to do that probably on the way home. I'll stop by the market. Although I may go to a restaurant for it. That probably might be better. I do like Penang curry. When I get it at restaurants, I always get it with sticky rice. So very cool. What'd you say, Caesar? Teacher Mike must be the utmost in patience. I don't have a lot of patience. I sometimes do when I'm teaching people, but I could get better at it. That's for sure. As a teacher, I'm also a learner, and trust me, I can learn patience. I could learn patience better. That's an absolute correct statement. But I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to finish off the smoothie. I'm going to take the millions of baht that you guys have given me over the last almost 3 hours. I'm going to head to the market. I'm going to try and get some Penang curry, but I'm also going to get some more smoothies on the way home. I'm going to get a mango smoothie, actually. No, I'm going to get a coconut smoothie as well as a mango smoothie from my mango smoothie guy, because I have a mango smoothie guy, and then I have a chicken and rice lady, and then I have a salad lady. Now, the downside with my salad lady is I think she has another job during the day, because she only shows up at the market at 5 p.m. on weekdays. And she wasn't here yesterday, so she's probably also taking advantage of the 4-day weekend. So unfortunately, I'm anticipating that I'm not going to be able to go to my regular salad lady until Tuesday, which, if my life gets planned correctly, I will anticipate that on Tuesday, Dana and I will probably be having pizza. So, what do I teach? So I don't teach now, right? But when I was at university, I would facilitate and lecture and be a presenter on leadership. So I would do that for undergrads. But Caesar is basically just referring to me helping him use his cell phone, because he's new to the whole smartphone stuff. And so there's basic steps that that you don't necessarily know off the bat. Like, I mean, you can figure, okay, yes, if I move my phone or if I move my finger, then the pictures will go this way. I get that. But sometimes you don't know, this, how to highlight, that sort of thing, how to go from one app to another. What happens if an app fails? When do you restart it? And as one of you guys have experienced, what happens when all of a sudden the autocomplete / translate on my Google keyboard doesn't work correctly? So that's one of the things. And before, we actually did this a couple of times, and I haven't had the time, unfortunately, to do this recently with Caesar, which is we would go get burgers. And our next trip will be to actually get, I think it's 40 baht, all you can eat Thai food, basically, noodles, I think, just north of Lumpini Park, which, as you guys know, I'm a big fan of. Provided Kevin tells me when the monsoon is coming, I can get the hell out of there real soon. So, no, but RM, for the most part, I was teaching leadership, a Master of Science in Executive Leadership, which is rare. And you're probably like, what the heck is that? At the end of the day, think of it as an executive MBA, which is, it's actually modeled after the executive MBA that is also a Master of Science in Executive Leadership at the Kennedy School of Government at Harvard. You are a patient guy to not cook off your smartphone is to not throw it in the river. It won't work. Yeah, I know, I can be frustrated. Little tech question. What microphone are you using right now? I need a new one. Do you think this sounds good? I will answer you, but the first you need to answer me is, do you think it sounds good? Because there is no windscreen on it. It's got a little bit of windscreen built into it. But it is $6, just so you know. I tweaked the circuitry in it mildly, but I also took care of the hollow. Believe it or not, like cheaper microphones, one of the reasons they don't sound good isn't necessarily because of the voice coil's lousy. That's the high percentage of them, the reason. But it's because the way that they assemble them, they just throw it in there, and they're in a body, and inside of the body it's completely hollow. And so it doesn't, the dampening of the sound, so it doesn't have it. So what I did is, believe it or not, I take this thing apart. Yes, I tweak the circuitry a little bit, the capacitors specifically, but then I fill all the hollow areas with pillow stuffing. So, you know, the stuff that's inside of a pillow. I had this one pillow, and actually it ripped on the side. So before I took it to the guy with the sewing machine, before I was trained by Dana soon to be able to repair my own pillows, is I just took out some of that and I just like shoved it in there, and so that gives it a little bit more warmth. But yeah, $6. And here's the thing: is that there is no manufacturer. There's no brand name. It's an SF666 condenser microphone. There's no there is no manufacturer. But of course, I bought this knowing that, you know, I needed a microphone that basically, if I got wet or it got damaged, I would simply throw it away and buy another one. So. But yeah, actually, if you just Google SF666, you'll see this probably like on Lazada or AliExpress or something like that. Love spinach and strawberry. Spinach, that's a good one, Joseph. I don't think she had that here. But to your point, I used to get like it was like a spinach. It had spinach in it, smoothie in Coronado. I would get it over there for a mere $4.99, and it wasn't this large. Cook off like a bomb. Got it. I'm happy to say when I get to Thailand, I will never cook again. There's really no reason to, dude. I don't. All I do at my place is reheat. Seriously, the only thing I cook is when I boil water to make spaghetti. And I boil water, I put the spaghetti in. When the spaghetti's done, I dump out the water. I take the spaghetti sauce, I throw the spaghetti sauce in the thing, I stir it up, and then bam. That's the significance, or that's the extent of my cooking. I would like to teach again, and you know, tech classes are always fun. I'm certified to teach various Amazon Web Service technologies, as well as Alibaba Cloud. So I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be kind of fun. But then, of course, that's a regular job, and I'm not really in the mood to do that. I prefer to be able to just kind of do this stuff with you guys, and you know, I like being on the board of companies. That's fun too, and hiring people to do stuff. That I like to empower people to be able to be excellent. And when you're on the board and you're on a company, you get to do that. I get to do that. That doesn't necessarily the case with everybody, but it feels good. How do you switch out a language you can't read? I'll try Google. Yeah, and you know, here's what's funny about Caesar. And I know that when I've said this to people, I'm sure they take it like it's flippant, you know. But at the end of the day, like any question you would ask anybody about technology, Google it. Always Google it. How do I change the language and believe me, top 3 or 4, especially if it's Google related, it'll probably be in support.google.com, and there will already be someone else who asked it, and you can get an answer direct from Google. So that's kind of a good idea. But it sounds like Aztec's going to help you out, which is awesome. No, it switched languages on me without prompting. Yeah, it will. Well, so on my phone, if I want to switch, so let's say I'm typing a note to Dion. If I go down here and I have the keyboard, okay, right here to the left of the space bar is a globe. If I push the globe, it changes the language. So that's how I get it to go from, can I do this in the mirror? I don't know. I'm not really good at using the mirror image. Oops, sorry. This way. There you go. So yeah. So if you type the globe, then it switches the language on the keyboard. Additionally, actually, I believe, hold on, I think you can actually, on the, yeah. So, and this is why it maybe happened accidentally, and I've done this before, is that you see the space bar at the bottom? If you slide, how do I do this well? Shoot. Nope. It's hard to do when I can do it when I'm looking at it. It's harder to do in the thing. But yeah. Let's see. Oh, that's weird. It's not doing it right now. Anyway, the globe is the easiest way to do it. Let me go back to English. I handled the translating thing with settings, but now I'm stuck. Yes, it sounds good to me, better than mine because it was falling down yesterday and now it's broken. Yeah, don't bother. If your mic's broken, just throw it away. Unless it's over like a couple $100. You know, if you've dropped it and it's broken, then that probably means the voice coil is shot. Because usually microphones won't break if you just drop it. But in defense of Samsung having so much fun and important usage of it, I'm neglecting troubleshooting. Yeah, that's cool. Just make sure you're always updating your apps. Turn on auto updates. Trust me, you will be sitting there as frustrated as hell over like why a certain app isn't working. And the short answer is because, well, the manufacturer knows why it's not working. That's why they did the update to the software. And a lot of times it will update. Sometimes more than twice a week they'll update the software because they do sprints, which is anyway, they update software regularly. It's not just like, oh yeah, once a month we update up every quarter. No, they don't have Walmart here. The closest thing to that is basically Big C. Big C Extra also has usually a lot of groceries, but you can go to a big enough Big C, and because they have mini Big C's, which are usually just like kind of like a convenience store kind of thing, and they'll have maybe like a couple of rice cookers maybe and that sort of thing. But like a regular BC will have Big C, will have like washing machines and of course fans and irons and that sort of thing, so basically Big C is the Walmart of over here. Additionally, Tesco Lotus, if those are large, they provide a very similar experience. Tesco Lotus, and again, they have large ones and mini ones. Typically undisciplined and sucking a lollipop. Well, it's just because of the whole, you got to shave your head then so you can be like a lot Mike Telly Savalas. Macro's the closest to Costco. Because they do volume at Macro. But I would submit that Big C is a lot closer to Walmart. Oh, I didn't know you could slide the space bar like that. Learn something new. Yeah, and a lot of times that's what people will do by accident, right? And then they'll be like, why am I didn't press the globe, right? Yeah. I go there to get me some Good for you. That's awesome. All right, so we're 3 minutes away from 3 hours, and so I'll go 3 hours. And then potentially I will stand up and get people with their eyes throwing darts at me. I don't know. Maybe I'm too. It's hard for me to know like how loud I am elsewhere. So anyway, maybe I'm too obsessed about it. I should probably just like lighten up and be like, look, dude, you're just talking. And in fact, it's in English, and they probably just like, yeah, again, like when people talk even loudly, like in Thai, it's just kind of like background noise. Like I don't really, because I cannot translate it fast enough to be able to understand it because I'm horrible at it. With the one gentleman over there, actually with his girlfriend, he was standing in line when I was ordering my smoothie, and he asked me, I said, he says, you're trying to order something. And I mean, he's obviously Thai. His English is excellent. I mean, I just like literally if my eyes were closed, I would have been like, oh yeah, some guy from America just asked me if I wanted a smoothie. I was like, wow. So, but that happens. It's very common. You get some people that have, potentially grown up elsewhere or international schools here. I mean, if you really embrace the whole international school teaching paradigm here in Bangkok, always taught in English, so that's always pretty good. But anyway, with that, guys, I just want to be attracted to your strong voice. Oh, okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. I guess that's good. I I want to say thank you guys for so much for coming by. I want to wish you the absolute happiest of Sundays of all time, no matter where you are, whether it's in the afternoon if you're from down under, or if you're basically just beginning your Sunday morning and you're back in the United States. And with that, it's Mike from livemyassoff.com saying, I hope you're living the dream, because if you're not living the dream, then there's a possibility, I'll summarize some of the stuff that we were talking about on the stream today. There's a possibility that you may not be completely aware that you have gratitude over something. And many times you will hear people say, well, I'm going to make a gratitude list. So I would recommend you do that if you're absolutely even the slightest bit questioning your gratitude about something. I would argue that it would be very easy for you to find things to be grateful for. And again, it's baby steps and it's progress and that sort of thing. So if all you can do is be grateful that you have legs by seeing someone in a wheelchair, great. That's a great start. And as you progress around the sort of paradigm or the continuum of gratitude, I would argue that along that way, you will eventually get to the point where you do not need to see bad to be grateful for your good. And that's a really neat spot to be in. And I want to thank you guys for encouraging me to keep going down that continuum and being the best guy that I can possibly be, being a good son to my mom and dad, being a good mate, a good teammate to Gracie, husband, whatever you want to call me. That's not official yet, of course. There's no paper, right? At the end of the day, it's Mike from livemyassoff.com saying, I hope you're living the dream. Because if you're not living the dream, just let me know how I can help. livemyassoff.com @gmail. That is 3 hours, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk with you